Time for some history, dog.
Back in browsing history. Welcome back. Just got me, Sam, this week, and Ross. How you doing, Ross?
Hello, not too bad. A little bit jet lagged.
Yeah, you just come back from a fucking swifty little Christmas break.
Nice little Barbados break.
Ooh.
It was kind of weird sitting there on the beach listening to Christmas songs, though.
Yeah, I bet. In the heat and that, and
Yeah.
sand, that would freak me out,
It was
bro.
that nice little December morning in the sun.
Yeah,
Never had that before.
that's where Aussies get it every year, don't
Yeah,
they?
that's why they're all a little bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, they're confused as fuck, bro. Christmas comes around, they're watching Christmas movies with snow, and they're
That's
like,
it.
what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. It's not frozen, is it? It's
No, that's
melting.
it. I couldn't imagine an Australian Christmas movie. I think that would spin me out, bro.
It's like
They
Christmas
can't
on
enjoy
the beach.
Christmas movies, can they?
No.
They just don't get it.
Nah.
It's impossible for any of them Caribbean countries, Pacific Island countries.
You
They
know, like, what the
fucked it.
fuck are they talking about?
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
they watch a Christmas movie, or what are their Christmas movies like? There's no sun, there's no snow, there's no sleighs.
Turkey on the beach barbecue.
Yeah, that's not working.
No.
No, it's not working at all, bro.
And Christmas hats in the sun don't work.
No, they'll just blow away as well. So you're outside.
How does Santa and the reindeers cope in the heat?
Yeah, they'll be fucked. Look at that big wool jacket he's got.
Yeah, that's it.
You know what I mean?
It's
Reindeer are
sweating.
made for fucking cold temperatures, aren't
Yeah.
they?
I don't think they'd be happy.
They wouldn't be happy, bro. I think Peter will be having a word with them. No doubt Santa Claus has had Peter on his case before, hasn't he?
Definitely, 100%. How many reindeers has he gone through? They're not the same.
Yeah,
They're not the original ones.
they
No way.
always name the same ones in the song, but he's
Yeah.
had a few Blitzens,
Yeah,
hasn't he?
yeah, that's it.
In the same
Just like
Blitzen over
Mark
and over
2,
again.
Mark 3.
Yeah, that's it. Blitzen Junior, Junior, Junior.
Just like American politicians.
Talking of American politics, that's sort of going to go down with our episode this week, bro. So this week on Browsing History, the date in history we're looking at, 7th of December, 1941, the Japanese Imperial Army attacking the US naval base at Pearl Harbour. Ooh-wee.
Wow.
Yeah. Kicking it off, bringing the US into World War II, which is kind of big up. Thanks, Japan, for that one.
Yeah, we sort of needed the help there.
Yeah, they hooked us up there, didn't they?
Sorted us right out.
After this episode, because this episode isn't just about Pearl Harbour. I couldn't do just an episode on Pearl Harbour on one day, bro.
No.
I'm not that scholastic. See, I can't even say the word, so I'm definitely not it, bro.
Need a scholar just for that.
Yeah, exactly. I need a history teacher about just to tell me that word. Ask the missus, yo, love, what word am I trying to say? I don't know, you're retarded. You're making up words, aren't you? Definitely tell me that. But, yeah, so what I ended up doing, well, I'm just saying big up Japan, but the reason I'm mentioning that is because after today's episode, I don't think we'll be saying big up Japan as much.
No.
And this is coming from a nerd who's been there by himself, do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, you loved.
I do like a bit of samurais and shit.
Yeah.
I think they're dope. But then,
They sort of ruined it with this one.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I knew, here's the worst part, I did kind of know a lot of this stuff already, but I still was like, yeah, big in Japan, bro. But yeah, so this episode is not just about Pearl Harbour, it's going to be sort of like the history of Imperial Japan as well. Because in my opinion, right, the attack on Pearl Harbour actually starts with the birth of Imperial Japan, the Empire of Japan.
Yeah.
And funnily enough, it's America who caused that birth, which is, I thought, a great place to start for it. But what we'll look at, bruv, before we even get onto that, we got to do what we usually do. We got to hit them birthdays up for 7th of December. What have you got for me, cuz?
We'll hit them birthdays. You got your man, Patrice.
Patrice O'Neill, bruv. Yes, one of the greatest comics of all time.
Do you know what his middle name was?
No, go on. What's his middle name?
Malcolm.
Was it Malcolm? Yeah, after Malcolm X.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah.
He was named after...
Patrice Lumumba.
That's it.
Who came up in the JFK episode. That's the president, one of the French president got clapped for trying to defend, I think it was, the CIA organised a coup in Lumumba's country
Yeah,
just
that's
before
it.
Kennedy
Took
got
him
elected.
out.
Kennedy was his homie, wasn't he?
That's it.
Patrice, obviously, great comic as well, bro. Absolutely fantastic. One of the people who gave the ethos of he's just up there to make himself laugh and do his thing.
As much as anyone else.
Yeah, like, definitely. He used to, if you got heckled, he'd just try and convince the people to leave. He'd just be like, just fucking leave then. There's a story of him once paying someone to leave. Just being like, look, you're causing all this shit. Like, here's your ticket money plus $20. Get the fuck out. Absolute Donny. Absolute king. You can't watch his specials around your missus because, he's got a few choice words and beliefs in women, which they sit there, they're like, no, you can't say that.
Which is one of his sketches. Was it the one where he was watching baseball? He's like, you sneak down the stairs in the morning, you're watching the baseball. You got the curtains drawn, and she comes out. What are you doing? Oh, come give me a cuddle.
Yeah. I watch baseball with you, and he's like, no, bitch, I'm here I'm doing my thing. So yeah, exactly that. He's fucking brilliant, man. Absolute king.
I saw one where he was he had like the sign language woman up on stage with him.
Yeah, that's a great one, isn't it?
And he's like trying to hide his mouth right from the deaf person, and then the person's sitting there typing it out all the words.
Yeah, and then he starts having
like,
a go.
What the fuck? That's a woman's shop.
He's got the whole bit as well about, which is great. I think you can find a clip of it him talking on some radio station. I don't think it's Opie and Anthony. I think it's a different one. He used to appear on that old radio show a lot. Yeah. But it's a different one where he's just talking about how weird it is. He finds how much people love the song, how much white people love the song Creep by Radiohead.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
People start floating.
Yeah.
Trying to jump off bridges.
That's it. And here's the line they always love. The I'm a weirdo line. White people love that shit. It's so good.
It's so true.
It is very true. They love. Admittedly, bruv, I could never get behind Creep or Radiohead.
No,
it's just never vibed with me, bro.
No, they weren't really my thing. He was a bit of a weirdo, wasn't he? He was
Who
actual
was?
creep.
Oh, was he actually?
The main guy, yeah.
See, a lot of my mates fucking dig Radiohead. Load of people I know love Radiohead.
My brother
I just can't get behind it.
My brother loves them.
Kieran loves them?
Yeah.
He strikes me as a Radiohead geezer.
Yeah.
I can't get behind it, man.
A bit depressing.
Yeah, that's what I feel like it.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of it at all.
I think I see him on Jules Holland one day, and the geezer just put me off.
Yeah.
I think when he had an interview or something, I was like, nah.
I feel the same about the Smiths.
Yeah.
I get a lot of shit for that as well.
I quite like the Smiths, but Morrissey's quite...
he's a dick anyway, no matter what. But even then, I'm like, I don't hate the Smiths because he's a cunt.
Yeah.
I just never been a fan. Him. Yeah, I never could get into him. Who's bit other birthdays we're going off track?
Oh, yeah, we got...
Podcasting.
I was just going to go with back with Patrice.
Go on.
You know, he died quite young.
He did,
41.
Yeah. And he knew he was dying the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he used to joke around, like, because he's obviously dying because he's a fat motherfucker. And he used to say, like, what do I want? Do I want to eat this delicious cake or do I want my right foot? 9 times out of 10, I'm picking my foot. I'm picking the cake. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. He's picking the cake over his foot any day of the week.
But it said that he was trying to address his health issues at this time.
Yeah.
And he was experimenting veganism.
Oh,
so veganism killed him, bro.
Killed Patrice O'Neill. That's another reason to hate them bastards.
That's it.
Hold up, give me 2 secs, bro. Quick little impromptu early pause on the episode. Rare. Ooh, give me some more birthdays. Go on.
1545. Henry Stuart.
Oh.
English-Scottish husband of Mary, Queen of Scots.
Oh, goddamn. She was a nasty bastard, wasn't she?
Yeah.
We spoke about that before on the podcast.
I was going to say she's come up a couple of times, isn't she?
Yeah, she's definitely come up. She'll come up next week as well.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah, next week. You about next week for recording?
Probably.
Yeah?
More than likely.
Nice, it's a good one next week. We spoke about that Chavi a lot. Who's next week?
Looking forward to it. Noam Chomsky.
Oh, yeah, Noam Chomsky.
He'd tell you how to say that word you were trying to say earlier.
He would tell me how to say that word. It'd be fucking boring about it, though. The fucking commie bastard. Nah, he's all right, Noam Chomsky. More of an anarchist, really, nowadays. Definitely still a commie, though, but he's all right. He said some good things. No, I mean, look, there's been a few of them all right. Who was it we looked at? Emiliano Zapata.
Yeah.
He's a pretty big one. But he was a cool geezer. Chomsky's all right. He's a smart fella. Great in a debate. Read some of his books when I was a teenager, angry and listening to Rage Against the Machine. So I think that's probably why I'm biased with him. But he's an old fart as well. He says some shit and you're like, fuck off, Noam.
Well, 1928 he was born, so fucking well old.
Well old, bruv. Try and listen to him talk nowadays or even in the past few years.
I bet he still speaks better than Biden, though.
Yeah, definitely. He still speaks better than me. I stutter and fucking say random shit. Put words which don't go in the right order.
Imagine what you're going to be at that age.
Oh, I'm going to be terrible, bruv. Bruv, this is why I started podcasting and doing stand-up and shit.
So you've got
my brain is already mush from years of being a shit amateur MMA fighter, giving myself brain damage for fun with all my hobbies. I was like, shit, I got to practice talking, yo.
And you want to listen back to these?
Yeah, make sure when I'm old man, I've got grandkids. What was Granddad like before his brain was fucking cottage cheese, man? Here's some podcasts of him being racist and homophobic with his mate when he was teenagers. Here you go. Did he really believe that? No, look, it says comedy on the thing. He's just having a laugh. He's just having a jolly.
Everyone's allowed to have a laugh every now and then.
To have a jolly.
We got Bobby Osborne.
Who's that?
From the Osbournes. Band, Donny Osmond.
Osmonds. I was about to say Osborne. I was like, Bobby Osborne from the band.
Hold on a minute. Have I fucked that up?
That's got to be Osmond, because Osborne is
I thought it was.
Ozzy Osbourne, isn't it?
No, it is Osborne Brothers. Yeah, I've got that fucking
who are the
wrong.
Osborne Brothers? Never listened to the Osborne Brothers. It's the type of band.
Bluegrass music.
Oh, okay. So it's the type of death I was literally about to say.
Him and his brother.
That's
where I got confused. I think I read brother and that's them.
That's it. That's why them. I was about to say that is the exact type of band that it sounds like that Ieuan would know about.
Oh yeah.
He's not here this week because he's fucking died. Yeah, his voice would have been no good for tonight. Little voice clip of what he sounded like, bruv. I know we cough a lot in this pod, but Jesus Christ, dude,
did you get a word through the cough?
He had a death rattle, a straight up death rattle. Went out on a little Christmas do, had a little bit of a boogaloo, a little bit of a sing song, while Will croaked it, bruv. Full on Kermit sounding this morning.
That'd have been great. That'd been great comedy. It'd been like having Bill Gates on the podcast.
You seen that video of that dude getting pied? I think I've showed you it before.
Bill Gates, that was a turning point in his life.
That was it.
Kill everyone.
That was his villain story, wasn't it?
Yeah, what would you call it? Origin story.
That's it.
You remember that little girl, John Benet Ramsey, who got murdered?
Yeah.
I think it was Boxing Day.
Yeah.
Well, her dad was born this date, in 1943.
Okay.
I'm sure I remember reading into this before, and the parents have been blamed by some people for it. Sort of a Maddie McCann sort of.
Yeah, is this the ones... No, but is this the one where they were like a Mexican guy stole her?
I think so.
Something like that. Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, her old man,
okay.
whose name is also John Benet Ramsey.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's kind of weird.
That is weird.
It was Bennett Ramsey, and she was named John Benet Ramsey.
There's a whole John for a little girl. Come on, guys.
Yeah.
Hippies. But there's a whole South Park episode about that, isn't there? Like parents who say that their kids have been murdered, but they're the actual murderers.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking great episode. It's one of my favourites. It's Butter's very special episode because Butter's parents try to kill him. Fucking great episode. Recommend.
Watching that later.
Yeah, definitely recommend.
You got Larry Bird, the American basketball player.
Larry Bird. I know Larry Bird.
I only really know him from Space Jam.
Is he in Space Jam?
Yeah, he's in Space Jam.
Is he one of the chavvies in that?
No, he's not one of the ones playing.
Yeah.
He's
I only know it because of the name.
He's like a commentator or a friend of Michael Jordan's. He's like playing golf with him.
Okay. I only know the name. Yeah. Was he a white guy?
Yeah, white guy.
Yeah.
One of the most successessul basketball players.
Yeah, from back in the day, yeah. Back when there was like socks up by their knees.
That's it.
Tiny short shorts. It's because they were dudes who didn't like... Look at who plays basketball nowadays, right? It's baggy shorts because what they're packing.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Basketball back in the day.
They wouldn't fit into them shorts.
No, that's it.
They'd be like Speedos.
Yeah, that's it. White guys back in those days, those tiny shorts, nothing's falling out.
They only had a little pecker.
They're safe. Do you know what I mean? It was mainly bush back then anyway. It was the 70s, wasn't
That's it, yeah.
Little bush poking out the bottom of the shorts.
I think we spoke about wrestlers and that before.
Yeah. Love a little bit of old school wrestlers.
I don't remember this guy, but Rick Rude.
Rick Rude. No,
he died in 99, so I don't know if that was just before I started watching.
Yeah, so I'm like, I watched as a young kid with my dad, like old VHS tapes, but our era was the Attitude Era, so Rick Rude was...
So he's probably gone by then.
Yeah, definitely.
But He died at the age of 40. Guess how?
Go on.
Heart failure, drug overdose.
Steroids.
Standard for a wrestler, innit?
Oh, yeah. Heart failure and drug overdose is like the way to go. Chris Benoit obviously takes it to the extreme.
He takes people with him.
Yeah. takes his whole family with him.
Yeah.
We're going on a trip, guys. I just want to show you 9 realms real quick. dark chabby.
Yeah, I was watching that listening to a documentary on him as well. It was fucking
Is it
crazy.
conspiracy one? Have you heard the conspiracy one about
those conspiracy guys I listened to?
Oh, I don't know if they've done an episode.
They've done
on
more
him.
just of like a documentary about.
There's one where like there's a conspiracy that he was set up, and it was all like he didn't kill him and shit like that. I've listened to it before, and I'm like, okay,
that makes sense.
All right, you know,
I'll have to look into that one.
Oh, they're fun ones. Like I said, I listen to a lot of conspiracy, and sometimes I'm just tasting.
Yeah, that's it.
Sometimes I taste and enjoy it, where I go, that'll stay in the belly for a while,
yeah,
and I'll believe it a little bit.
Well, I was trying to say
ironically believing it. That's the most fun one.
I said to everyone the other day, I was like, the flat Earth one, I don't believe in it. I don't think. If it come true tomorrow, I wouldn't be shocked.
Yeah, yeah.
But like, there's some really good, interesting theories behind it, and some like when they sort of say
about good, interesting theories. I'm not smart enough to think they're good, interesting theories.
It's just like some of the stuff they say. You go, oh, I never thought about it like that.
Yeah,
and it just makes you think. I like them ones that make you.
Them ones do make you think. Sometimes, ones where I go, I never thought about it like that. Sometimes make me go, hold up, bro, you are retarded.
Everyone knows the answer to that one.
Yeah, like, think on this real hard. Are you being bamboozled right now, cuz? Because there's a good chance you're being bamboozled. That's what I think for myself.
I was thinking about it when I was on the plane.
Yeah.
I was like, right.
Looking out for the curvature.
Yeah, I was looking. I was like,
is it?
I can't see no curve there. But anyway, you know the world's spinning so quickly.
Yeah.
Why don't we just shoot up, right? Straight in a rocket.
Yeah.
Up to the atmosphere, just outside
I don't think it's spinning that fast.
Let the world spin a little bit and drop back in.
Nah,
20-minute journeys to New York.
It wouldn't make it that much quicker because it spins on a 24-hour cycle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know that.
So when you're flying, against the spin? Or
so
with
would
the
it
spin?
be quicker? What would make sense is it quicker to fly with the spin of the Earth? So going the same way as the spin, or is it slower to fly against it?
Yeah. I think it would obviously be quicker going against the spin, wouldn't it? Because it's coming towards you.
Oh yeah, of course. So if it's flying against the spin, does that make it quicker?
Yeah, maybe. Fuck knows. I also thought about if you got the curvature as well. If you just stay low, and cut off the curve.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You could stay lower and get there quicker.
And then you wouldn't have to worry about the extra time on the curve.
That's it, because otherwise you go up and you're following the curve round.
We need a pilot, don't we?
Yeah.
Need to be able to just phone. Oh, talking of phoning, not a phone-in, but random shout-out this week, bruv. And it's funny enough that you're here for it. I'm going to give a shout-out to Uncle Tony, bruv.
Oh, big Uncle T.
Yeah, big Uncle T. Not my Uncle Tony. I don't have an Uncle Tony myself, but if you are listening, Uncle Tony, doubt you are. I don't think you've even got Spotify, cuz. But if you are listening, shout out to my Uncle Tony. But this real one's going out to your Uncle Tony, bro.
Yeah, big Uncle T.
Yeah, absolute Donny. You sent me that message about, he was like, sorry lads, all the stuff and some of the things podcast isn't my number one this year. It's browsing history. Some mad props for that.
Yeah, isn't it?
Cheers, Uncle Tony.
Cheers, Uncle T.
Yes.
Listening to theirs more than ours.
Uncle T, don't listen to him. If my Uncle Tony isn't listening, you can be my Uncle Tony now, please.
He's everyone's big Uncle T.
Yes, and he's Scottish, right?
That's it, yeah.
That makes it 10 times better, bruv. He's got a place on the show whenever he wants.
And if you listen to our episode 19 with our stepbrother Scott, there's a big long story in there about him setting his farts alight.
Yes, Uncle Tony. See, that's my target audience, bruv. Old Scottish geezers who setting their farts on fire, bruv. I get it. It gets cold up there, bruv.
Speaking of Scottish people,
go on.
Going back to the birthdays.
Yeah.
Colin Hendry,
who's that?
Scottish centre back.
Okay.
Played for Blackburn.
Nice.
You don't really follow football that much.
No, look, bruv. If you want to get some excitement out of football from me, you are going the wrong way, bruv. The wrong way.
Do you remember the little? Did you ever used to collect the little football men with the big heads?
No, God, no.
Match. Get them.
What they called?
Yeah, they were like Match Pros or something.
It's Match Pros, yeah. I remember the adverts. I remember what they looked like.
Colin Hendry was my first one I got.
Oh, nice.
He was Scottish and he played in defence, so I played in defence.
Fucking nice. That's a good one to have for a young Scottish lad.
That's it. We got John Terry, another footballer.
Another centre-back. I'm fucked, mate.
England footballer.
England? Yeah.
Fucked his best mate's wife.
Oh, I know this story. Yeah. Fucking difficult one.
And then he was a whole load of racist to Rio Ferdinand's brother as well.
Oh, shit. Yeah. All right.
So he's a bit of a geezer.
Bit of a lad, isn't he? Bit of typical English lad.
You got
fucking the changing rooms on that, on pitch on that. How could you work with someone like that?
Could you?
No, you couldn't at all. What happened there? Did they fuck off from the same teams?
Because they were both playing for, I think it was Chelsea at the time.
Fucking hell.
And then they were both playing for England as well.
Fucking hell.
And I think after it all come out, Wayne Bridge stopped playing for England.
Yeah, no doubt.
And obviously, I think he transferred away after that.
Yeah, you would, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Sneaky.
But he got a new fit and missus anyway.
Oh, did he?
Frankie from the Saturdays.
Okay. I can't remember which one that is.
Yeah, she's alright.
Alright, nice.
She's alright.
Nice.
Got Damien Rice, Irish singer.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I know the name Damien Rice. I know.
I don't think I've listened to much of his stuff, but
I couldn't say I have. Bro.
He was born in 1973.
Nice.
Robert Kubica, F1 racer.
Okay, nice, cool. Who do you drive for?
He was racing for Renault at one point. He had a big old smash up. I think it was in a rally car. So he went in doing Formula 1. He had a smash up in a rally car. And I think he was supposed to be signed for Ferrari that following year.
Oh,
but I don't think. But he couldn't recover in time, so I don't think he ever got to race for Ferrari.
Gutted, wouldn't you? You'd love a bit of racing, didn't you?
Yeah.
You seen the trailer for that new Ferrari film?
I haven't. No.
Looks pretty good, and I'm not even a car.
Fan.
I'm not even a car guy, and I'm like, that looks like a good film.
I'll tell you what you do need to watch, even if you're not into racing.
Go on.
TT, Closer to the Edge.
All right.
It's basically.
I thought I was going to say Talladega Nights. I was like, bro, I watch that. I watch that all day, every day.
I can't remember what year it's from. 2010.
Okay.
And I think they followed the 2009 TT throughout the.
Oh, nice.
Followed all the riders, talked to all of them.
Yeah.
Show you some bit of history about it.
Nice. Yeah. Actually, I sit down with my father-in-law and watch that. I'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
Nice little Christmas watch with him.
It's good. It's probably the best documentary, TT one.
Yeah.
And then there's another film called Road.
Okay.
You'll meet a couple of the guys in Closer to the Edge.
Yeah.
And if you then watch Road, it's about their family.
Okay, nice.
I won't say any more on it because it's fucking great.
Nice. Okay, I'll hit them up.
Did you ever watch About a Boy?
I know the film.
Hugh Grant.
And that kid who became X-Men.
Yeah, and he was also in Skins as well.
He was in Skins.
He was Nicholas Hoult.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Is it his birthday?
1989.
Nice.
Yeah. And I think that's all.
Birthday to that. I think that's Beast from X-Men, bro.
Beast. I think that's the only birthdays I got.
That's pretty good. Have you got some other historical events from 7th of November? Now, if I remember right, when I looked at this, there's some lively shit going on this day.
There's a few bits and bobs going on.
Wasn't there?
You got the Royal Opera House opened its doors for the first time.
Go on, that's lovely.
Covent Garden, that was 1732.
Go on, that's a good one. I like that. Did you get Cicero being assassinated?
No, didn't.
So Cicero is assassinated in Formia on orders of Marcus Antonius. So Cicero was part of trying to sort out the government after Caesar, and he was part of that. And Marcus Antonius was an eventual emperor after assassinating Cicero.
What year was that?
So that was in 43 BC.
Oh.
Same date, obviously, 7th of November.
Yeah. That's cool.
Got any others for us,
We had
cuz?
1703. The southern parts of Great Britain were struck by the Great Storm.
Yeah.
Which took the lives of 9,000 people.
Fucking hell, lads. Like, I know we can't handle a snow day, but that was only a windy day. Jesus fucking Christ, England, sort it out. 9,000 people dead from a fucking windy day.
That's it. Bit of rain. Fucking hell.
We are shit with weather, though.
We're crap, aren't we?
Terrible.
It's like our skin isn't waterproof.
Yeah. I do, like, saying that, I do fucking hate snow. So I get why the country's like, fuck this.
Yeah,
because that is me whenever I see snow. I'm like,
stay here.
Fuck
I'm not going
off.
anywhere.
Yeah, sit in my hut.
We got 1787.
Yeah.
Delaware becomes the first state to ratify the United States Constitution.
Go on, Delaware.
So because of this, it's sometimes called the first state.
Nice. Same date, but on 1776, Lafayette Gilbert de Monterre, Marquis de Lafayette. He joins. He's typically one of the founding fathers. Pretty important.
Yeah.
This is when he enters the American military as well.
Oh, nice.
As a war general. So yeah, we've got some good
stuff going on.
Good stuff for 7th of November. Little historic day.
You've got 1988.
Go on.
6.9 earthquake in Armenia. Kills 25 to 50,000 people.
Fucking hell.
And left 500,000 homeless.
Ooh.
That's not good, is it?
It's not
Them
nice.
Armenians have taken a battering, haven't they?
Yeah, they
not
have,
just from earthquakes.
they have had it rough, to say the least.
Oh.
This is also when 7th November 1922, Parliament of Northern Ireland votes to remain as part of the United Kingdom and not unify with Southern Ireland.
That's going to start some trouble.
Few troubles, hey.
That's got to come up on an episode at some point.
Do an episode on the Troubles.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
That's
could do
interesting.
it.
Fact, you could pick any date from the last 100 odd years.
Yeah, there was a good one the other month, wasn't there? It was Bloody Sunday.
Yeah.
The football match. That'll be worth covering possibly next year.
There's a good few songs about that as well.
Is there really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that. The Irish can write a fucking banger. Honestly, their voice is so sing-songy. They're just sing-songy people. It's great.
What about the Apollo, the last manned lunar landing mission?
Oh, was that
1972?
Nice.
Which took the crew to the famous Blue Marble. What is it? Oh, the crew took the famous Blue Marble photo of the entire
Earth. Of the Earth. That's a good one.
Apparently, allegedly.
unless you believe NASA conspiracies, then it's all Photoshop, motherfucker.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe it's true.
Yeah.
I'd like to believe, you know.
I don't know. I'm not convinced until I go there myself.
Until you have your little moon landing.
I've seen it for my own eyes.
I've got a good one for 1949.
Go
on the Chinese Civil War. So I'll bring it up after I've mentioned what happens. The government of the Republic of China moves from Nanjing to Taipei, Taiwan. So this is after Communist China have taken over.
Yeah.
The government in China, before the commies took over, move over to Taiwan. So that is what modern day Taiwan is.
That's how
today.
it started, and that's why it's still under a bit of debate.
And that's why there's the whole argument of China and Taiwan.
Yeah.
It's because it is just the Chinese government in exile living in Taiwan.
Yeah.
Now, I don't like the CCP.
Yeah.
Right? And Taiwan's pretty important for the Western economy because they make our microchips and shit like that.
They make everything.
Yeah. So I understand why we want to keep them.
Yeah.
At the same time, arguably, and I'm going to sound like a pro-China motherfucker right here, but if China invades Taiwan, is it not them just carrying on, finishing off that war and that revolution?
Quite possibly, yeah.
So technically, nothing to fucking do with us.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it that it is with trade nowadays to do with us.
Yeah, it shouldn't have any. It shouldn't do anything with World War III, though, should it?
No, definitely not. It's definitely not going to be that. It's definitely not going to be fucking Germany and Russia invading Poland.
No,
it's not going to be our version of that, is it?
No, and it's not. It's not going to be like Israel or Gaza or anything.
Do you reckon? Which ones do you reckon it's going to be? We've had this debate again. I think you was here last time when historians look back and look at the start date of World War III. I've heard someone argue. I've said this before again. That it's going to be 9/11.
Ooh.
Some people could argue it might be the Ukraine war. The Syrian war, I think, was a good proxy war.
Yeah, so you're thinking, like, are we already in World War III? Is that what you're thinking?
There's an argument for that. I've been saying that for a long time.
So
I think we're already in World War III.
Do you think during World War One and World War Two they didn't know there was in World War One and World War Two? Because in World War One they just thought there was in the Great War, didn't they?
Yeah. World War Two they knew because there was bombs overhead.
Yeah. Did they call it World War Two at the time?
I think they did.
They did by then, yeah.
Yeah, because they've obviously had the Great War.
Yeah.
Like, because do you imagine rocking about in the Great War or World War One, and someone says, "Oh yeah, World War One," you'd be like, "Huh?
Yeah, what?
Sir, who? There's a what? There's a sequel?"
So that's what it's like. Yeah. Because you're obviously looking at World War One. Yeah.
You'd be like, "What?
Fucking hell."
Yeah.
I thought about it like that.
You'd be shitting it, wouldn't you? World War when? Which?
How many more is it?
Yeah, exactly. We don't even know.
Well, the Illuminati know.
Oh, that's because they got it planned, cuz.
That's it. So, I don't know. I think you could take... I think officially it would go like Ukraine, Russia, Gaza, Israel, China, Taiwan. Add all them three things together in the space of a couple of years, and I think historians would point back at there and go, them three things led to the start of.
Yeah. I get exactly
because none of
the
big names have got properly come into it yet.
Like with each other,
we've been funding.
You think it has to be like a big name versus big name, but then like Syria was just the West versus Russia, but just low key, wasn't it? That's what I'm saying. I think you could go to then. And I understand the point of 9/11 because that's when the war on terror started.
Yeah.
Or is that just a prelude to World War III, like the way you got World War II, and then straight into the Korean War?
Yeah.
Or even mentioning today the Sino-Japanese War just before World War II was almost like a build-up to it.
Who knows?
Another little 7th November date for you. I just came across this one. I thought it'd be worth it.
Go on.
1982. In Texas, Charles Brooke Jr. becomes the first person to be executed by lethal injection in the United States.
Nice.
Jab ya.
We love them jabs. We love them lethal jabs.
They love a lethal jab, don't they, the old states? Texas don't, apart from that one.
Yeah.
I clearly fucking love that one. But, I mean, it's not the first time it's done in history. Remember Napoleon giving all his boys heroin?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I think it was only... What was it? Opium back then, not heroin. They hadn't quite got the intravenous needles yet.
What was it that Hitler was giving his boys? Help them march for
diazepam. Mescaline in the chocolate. Mescaline in the chocolate is what Hitler and the boys were on. Fucking great shit. I've had mescaline chocolate.
Managed to march.
Didn't make me fucking invade.
You didn't march across Europe?
Nah, didn't invade France, nothing. I was disappointed.
They'd already surrendered.
Yeah. I phoned the bloke up. I said, I expected to be in Moscow by now, bruv. The fuck's going on?
Where did you end up?
Sitting in my mate's living room watching Jules Holland live on New Year's Eve. Like, this ain't conquering Europe. This is fucking Jules Holland.
This is nice.
This is quite cosy actually. Because when I heard that, who was that geezer who did that song with the Charlie Chaplin quote at the start?
Paolo
Nutini, that's it.
Yeah,
but it was
man.
the song that came out before that, his big hit one. Something about his trousers or something. I can't fucking remember.
Fucking hell.
Yeah,
Loose Shoes.
Loose Shoes, that's it. So yeah, it was that song, Jules Holland, me and Mescaline. Not quite conquering Paris. Was disappointed, but I did have a dance. So
that's right then.
So let's look at 1941, bruv. In general,
yeah,
there's a lot of shit going on, eh? Little build up to Pearl Harbour. I think there's a bit of a big build up.
There's a few little things going on in Europe at the time. I don't know if I can't quite remember any of them. There's a few countries having it out with each other.
A little bit angry at each other.
There's a angry German guy.
Yeah.
Kicking off.
Yeah.
Just taking countries over.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure by 41 he's got Europe, France.
Yeah.
I think he's stepping into Moscow by now.
Yeah, he's definitely got Netherlands and France.
Yeah, Belgium.
He obviously got Poland and all of that stuff before.
Yeah, of course. I think by now, I can't remember by now if they had taken Northern Africa and lost it already. No, they don't lose it until the Americans come in. So yeah, at this point they've got Northern Africa as well. They took that from us. So yeah, they sort of stormed in, took all of France.
They're smashing, isn't they?
Kicked us out of Dunkirk.
Yeah.
And then after that, when we were weakened, sitting at home, bombing us a bit. Battle of Britain happens. Oi. It's fucking good little shout out.
Up there.
Get in there. That was good. Although this documentary I was watching recently on World War II, they were like, this was the first defeat for the Japanese in World War II, talking about a different battle.
Yeah.
And they didn't mention the Battle of Britain was possibly, I don't know, it might have been one of the first defeats for the Germans, for the Nazis in World War II. They didn't say that. That's a pretty big one.
Who made it? Who made the documentary?
Netflix, innit? That's probably why.
I'm surprised they didn't jig up all the characters as well.
I'll tell you what was rude. So I had interviews with all of sometimes these survivors who had lived through the war, and the only person at first they actually showed with the voiceover, not just clip,
Yeah.
was this woman who fought in the Liberation Army for Russia.
Yeah.
So the socialist woman. And they flashed it on, and she's got like fucking dyed hair and loads of medals. Do you know what I mean? She's looking like one of them flag wavers from nowadays, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, why is that the only person you're actually showing? And I feel like they realised, because the next episode they were suddenly like, here's an old boy too. He's got some stories. He fucking come off a plane, he did, and he was well alright. He got nicked, but he was well alright.
He was good, was he?
He was a good chavvy. So yeah, 1941's a bit busy, eh?
Just a bit.
Yeah, a few things kicking off.
Not for the Americans though. They didn't want to.
Not yet.
Oh, actually, they were still funding both sides.
Well, I'll get into that a little.
That.
Well, not actually. I don't get into them funding us and Germany, but they were.
Yeah.
At first, they were selling Germany arms. By the time I think Germany really started conquering Europe, I think they were backing off.
Yeah.
Selling, if I remember rightly from what I was watching recently, they sort of started backing off selling arms.
They were selling gas as well. Was they not? They were selling gas. Wasn't that George Bush's granddad or something?
Was it really?
I think so.
Had something to do with selling them gas and that. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised that Bush family. They've had their fucking. They've had their fingers in a few pies. That was Rick Rude, by the way. I was googling him there. Bow tie. I can't remember him. But so at the outbreak of war, yeah, like you said, the Americans were sort of funding anyone and everyone statistically as well, right? I've got some statistics here for the US's opinion at the start of World War II.
Yeah.
So, how far should we go in helping England, France, and Poland? This is America's support for assisting England, France, and Poland. Should we sell them food supplies? 74% said yes.
Okay.
Cheers.
They didn't want us to starve. That's good.
Should we sell airplanes and other war materials to England and France? Only 58% said yeah, hook them up.
There was obviously the plane manufacturers and that. Metal manufacturers.
Yeah.
They wanted a piece of the action.
They
know war makes
money. But only 58% of them are like, yeah, fucking go on, sort the English boys out. It's a bit rude. Should we send our army and navy abroad to fight against Germany? 16% said yes. That means 84% of the US population were like, fuck off.
Motherfuckers.
Yeah.
It's the last time we fucking helped you out. But it weren't though, was it? We fell for it again and again and again.
Yeah, well, to be fair, look, us helping them out in all the Gulf Wars is kind of fair dues after World War II. We did kind of need their help just a bit there. Like, they always go on about it. Like, we saved you in World War II, and it's like, well, yeah, because we were the only cunts left fighting.
Going, yeah.
Everyone else got pogged off. Russia was working with Germany at the start.
Yeah.
We only got Russia on our side because Hitler fucked that up and decided to invade Russia.
The French just ran away.
Oh, we had the resistance. All right. We were the ones really resisting.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Flying fucking planes. Saving your asses. Don't see them say it to French people.
I read a thing as well. When the French first surrendered, they blew up all of their boats and shit. So rather than giving them to us, they blew them all up so that the Germans didn't get them because they were that scared that the Germans would come.
We could have used a few of them at Dunkirk.
Yeah,
just a couple of them.
Yeah, they fucking destroyed them all.
I had a French geezer once on a comment on a history thing because I do that sometimes. Just fucking get angry and leave comments on a history post.
You get in the beef.
Yeah, just because for fun. And some French dude was like, you know, I made the stereotypical France surrendering joke.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, what about the British at Dunkirk? And I was like, fuck you, buddy. We were saving your ass. We had to get the fuck out. Because you guys dropped the ball, bruv. Do you know what I mean? And what about Dunkirk? Tell you what about Dunkirk. We got the fuck out of there because you guys shit it.
Fucking pussies.
Pricks.
It's a shame, isn't it? Because they was always warring for all them years before. Yeah. It's like they forgot after Napoleon.
Right, innit?
Yeah.
They just completely forgot how to do it.
Fucked the last greatest.
And still nowadays they can like protest like hell and do all that fucking dope shit.
Yeah.
But
they didn't want to have none of it when it come to Hitler.
Nah. They secretly loved him, didn't they?
Yeah.
So let's get into Pearl Harbour and the Japanese Empire, bro. So all throughout before Pearl Harbour as well, Japan's wilding out, bruv. They're going full Empire of the Rising Sun. And obviously Pearl Harbour eventually is just a little sneaky bombing on the US Navy. And like I said, this is going to end up being sort of like the history of Imperial Japan. Because I think to get to Pearl Harbour, that's sort of where you got to start.
Background, yeah.
Yeah, you need the background with them. The reason I chose the start of it, the very start of Imperial Japan, because I find it ironic of how Imperial Japan got started to who they attacked at Pearl Harbour. Arguably, Pearl Harbour is the start of the end of the Japanese Empire.
It's like a big vicious circle.
So, like, what I mean by that is by them attacking the US at Pearl Harbour, that caused the death of their empire.
Yeah.
Right, which they had built with a couple of little naughty bombs, a couple of little big 1-2s they hit Japan with. Papa!
Laters.
Yeah, make some VHS, motherfuckers. Give me Hello Kitty and anime.
Yeah, that's all they're good for now. Cartoons.
Yeah, cartoons and some video games. Go back to being ninjas, motherfuckers. Here's some nukes. So, I say it's ironic because on July 8th, 1853, American Commodore Matthew Perry.
He died in a pool, didn't he?
He did. Well, wrong Matthew Perry. But that's how I remember it. Honestly, I've known that name for years and I've always remembered it as, it's Chandler.
Yeah.
Who opened up Japan? Chandler opened up Japan for everyone. But yeah, Matthew Perry, American Commodore, he leads 4 ships into the harbour at Tokyo Bay, seeking to re-establish for the first time in over 200 years regular trade and discourse between Japan and the Western world.
Nice.
So at this point, what had happened, right? Japan had gone full isolationist.
Yeah, they didn't want anything to do with anyone.
Anything to do with anyone. Because what had happened is 200 years before that, Japan had decided to fuck all the foreigners out. They decided to expel all Europeans purely because they were persisting to convert the Japanese to Catholicism,
right? Taking
some territory and engaging in unfair trading practices. So in 1639, I believe it was Tokugawa Ieyasu, who we've mentioned on the pod before, he bans all foreigners in Japan, apart from like limited trade access to only the Dutch and Chinese.
Why the Dutch?
With special charters.
They wanted the weed.
Yeah, they were like, yo, you got that damn
coffee shops.
You got that damn connect. I think it was probably to do with Will Adams, Gillingham boy, represent because he ended up becoming a big trade envoy for Tokugawa Ieyasu, and he became like his trader through Asia, and he arrived in Japan on a Dutch trading vessel.
Got ya.
Even though he's an English boy, he was there on a Dutch trading vessel.
So did he get expelled? He was all right.
He was all right.
Good.
He ended up living
because he was
there.
An actual samurai, wasn't he?
He got like the rank and that. Yeah, I mean, not really a samurai unless it's family ties and that. But he got like the ceremonial rank.
He was good
and
enough.
That. Yeah, he got a sword.
Yeah.
The mayor of Medway gets a sword.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's pretty good. That's pretty high level. We got Yokosuka Way around here.
That's it.
Ito Way.
We put a McDonald's on it.
Yeah, they did stick a McDonald's down there. Very Japanese. So Perry's fleet at this time consisted of 4 vessels: the Susquehanna, the Mississippi, the Plymouth, and the Saratoga. And they were called the Black Ships because back then the Japanese ain't seen steamships before.
Oh, okay.
And these ships turned up all black steel, beaming smoke from the fucking chimneys. The samurai
what
was
ships
shook.
they had then? Just like sailboats still?
Yeah, like big old sailboats and that. And they were shook seeing this shit.
Yeah.
They had guns. So a lot of people think they didn't have guns and shit like that. No, that's bullshit. You know, 200 years, 250 years before that, they had mech guns. They had got matchlocks. Oda Nobunaga, Ieyasu, both those dudes, and Hideyoshi, that third dude, they all loved a rifle. You know? So they'd already had guns. But it's different when a steamship turns up.
Yeah, with guns. Do they have guns on them as well?
Oh, yeah.
Big guns.
Big, tasty
like a
guns.
Big robot coming towards them on the sea.
Like, they literally got attacked by a mech.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, the Japanese are obsessed with giant robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when they saw foreigners, we turned up with a giant floating robot. Yeah. So I totally get it, bro. Perry ordered his ships to steam past Japanese lines towards the capital of Edo, position their guns towards Uraga. He also fired blank shots from his 73 cannons when he was in the bay. Just turned up like, Papa, Papa, Papa.
We're here.
Yeah, that's it. Open up,
like a doorbell.
Yeah, knock, knock, bitches. Now, this happened on July 8th, right? And when they asked him, what was the fucking guns about? He went, celebrating Independence Day, that's all. 4 days late. Celebrating our Independence Day in your bay, motherfuckers.
Was he a comedian as well?
Chandler was meant to be the funny character, wasn't he? When they got there, though, they only ended up spending like days on board the ships inside Tokyo Bay. Quite a few days. But they were just being general terrorists the whole time they were there. The Emperor and, not the Emperor, but the Shogun was refusing to meet with them.
Okay.
And then they were refusing to meet with officials who were sent to them. Because they were like, no, we're only chatting with the boss. We want the boss. They thought the boss was the Emperor. They knew so little about Japan, they didn't realise the Shogun was the main dude. They refused to sail to like designated foreigner ports. And at one point they even sent a letter which told the Japanese that in case they choose combat, the Americans would necessarily vanquish them. Nothing like, open up, we want to have a word. No. Pop down the road, have a word with matey. No, fucking open up. No, look, we're not going to... Open up,
we're coming in anyway.
Yeah, open up or we will vanquish you, motherfuckers. 14th of July, so it's taken him a few days. Japan decides to accept the letter to the Emperor and ask Perry to land slightly southwest in the beach of Kurihama. Perry went ashore with considerable pomp, bruv. He goes ashore with 250 sailors in 15 ships. So he's got a large havings.
Big backup.
Oh, yeah. And when he turns up, he's got a band playing with him as well, and they're playing a song called Hail Columbia. He knows how to rock up. 17th of July, after finally meeting with them, 3-day meeting, Matthew Perry decides to head out, and he says, look, I'll be back in a year for a reply. So I'm going to leave you with, you're going to open up and trade with us.
Yeah.
I'll give you a year to answer.
That's a long old time to wait around, though, isn't it, for a message back?
It's a long old time. Fucking no emails, though, cuz. I don't think they even...
Imagine messaging a bird and then not getting back to you for a year.
When I sail by again, and I'm going to spend the whole year trying to sail by. Here's the thing, though. After Perry's debate, there was a departure. There was an extensive debate amongst the shogunal court on how to respond to the America's implied threats. And not few days after Perry turning up, the shogun at the time, Tokugawa Ieyasu, he's actually quite sick and he ends up dying just after Perry's departure.
They brought disease to him.
I don't think they brought disease. Might have slipped him a little poison, you know what I mean? A little mercury in the sake, bruv. So he's succeeded by his son, who's also sickly. So they're not doing fucking good, these shoguns.
They've got a very good bloodline there.
It's not looking good at the moment. They've probably been interbreeding for 200 years.
On an island.
The Tokugawa clan, they were empires for. Yeah, they were the imperial family or the shogunate family for 200 or so years.
Yeah, that's a lot of incest.
Yeah, I can guarantee there's a bit of it.
We like a bit of that as well, don't we? With our royal families.
European royal families, they fucking love it, bro. Lizzie was Philip's second cousin or something.
It was first cousin.
First
They're
cousin.
Actually cousins, yeah. Makes it worse, doesn't it? I think I heard you say it in the last episode.
Yeah,
they're actually cousins.
They're actually first cousins.
They shared a nan or something. I'm sure it was.
Grimy, brother. Look, I think that's what was going on in the Tokugawa clan. Possibly, I don't know. But maybe. If they got all these
they shared mums instead.
Yeah, so they got all these sickly shoguns, bro. So, attempting to legitimise any decision taken, the council polled all of the daimyos, so all of the clan leaders in Japan, and this is the first ever time the Tokugawa shogunate have ever done a vote. That's how big these chavvies turning up is, and the result of the poll is literally split. It's split even.
50-50.
Yeah, it's out of 61 known responses, 19 were in favour of accepting the American demands, and 19 were equally opposed. Of the remainder, 14 gave vague responses. And 7 suggested making temporary concessions, and 2 advised that they would simply go along with whatever was decided.
We're as close as Brexit then.
No, nowhere near as close as Brexit.
We'll have a second vote.
That seems like maybe something to have a second vote on Japan.
It's a bit more split, yeah.
Yeah.
Few undecided.
Or at least make the the 7 geezers, or the 2 geezers who were like, yeah, whatever, just pester them, like, come on, lads.
Yeah.
You two almost... And then they both decide either one. And you're like, oh,
maybe
fuck.
a game of like rock, paper, scissors or something.
Yeah,
just
just
decide
call it
which
that.
one.
14th of February, 1854. So not quite a year yet, right? The Russians had been harassing Japan after the arrival of Matthew Perry, being like, oi, we heard this chavvy's turned up.
Yeah, we got the Russian version of Friends here.
Yeah, that's it. Pals. I don't know what Russian for friends is. Buddies. They're all sitting outside like a dilapidated fucking destroyed pen. Like, do you know what their apartment blocks, the Russian blocks look like? The fountains like fucking half falling apart. And they're all squat slaved by the fucking sofa and shit. Chip us a fag. I don't know what that accent was.
They were doing that dance.
Yeah, just doing the swigging from vodka, doing the Russian dance in the fountain.
That's a better version. I'd watch that one.
Chums, buddies.
I don't think they'd have the canned laughter in the background. It'd be much better.
With the canned laughter will be like laughter of people starving to having guns pointed at them. Laugh now. So yeah, the Russians hear about the American deal and turn up to Japan like, fucking come on, sort us out. And on top of that, England and France hear about Matthew Perry making an appearance in Japan, and they say, yo, when you head back, we're coming with too, bruv. And Matthew's like, fuck you guys, I'm going to head back early. So he heads back before
they could jump on.
Before they could jump on board, and before the Russians send back another geezer. He returns on the 13th of February with 1,600 lads, 1,600 lads, and 8 black ships this time.
Nice. Even bigger.
By the time of Perry's return...
They must think that the robots are mating.
Yeah. They got more robots! They're fucking making baby... They got little ones!
There's a few baby ones there.
Oh, Kuai! Kuai baby robot there from the sea! By the time, that black ship's so cool. By the time of Perry's return, the Tokugawa shogunate had decided to accept virtually all the demands.
Oh, cool. That was easy for him.
Just turn up with a load of death machines. However, negotiators procrastinated for weeks over the site of the negotiations. Perry insisted with the capital in Edo. Japanese offered like various other locations, but Perry eventually lost his temper and threatened to bring 100 ships within 20 days to war on Japan.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, here's the thing, it was just a brag.
I was going to say, I bet they didn't have 100
They
ships.
didn't
Was all of their ships.
Yeah, they didn't even have 100 ships, bruv. He was just like big bollocks in it. Both sides eventually compromised on the tiny village of Yokohama, where a purpose-built hall was erected. On the 8th of March, Perry lands in Yokohama with 500 Marines, 3 bands playing the Star-Spangled Banner when he pulls up.
Nice.
That's how you enter, innit?
Yeah, you got to do that.
500 boys, Star-Spangled Banner.
Having a little boogie.
Yeah, you'd be walking in like stone cold.
Did they do... Did they do them parades? You know, the floats and stuff and that.
They doing like them the Macy Day parade shit. They should have. If they didn't,
should have done
they should
that
have.
as they got there, yeah.
So, after all of that, Perry signed the Convention of Kanagawa on the 31st of March. It took a month to sort this deal out, which opened the ports of Shimoda.
Not as long as Brexit, though.
no, not as long.
They had another unwritten deal.
And we might change our mind if we vote Labour anyway. The ports of Shimoda and Hakodate to American ships provided for care of shipwrecked sailors and the establishment of the American consulate in Shimoda.
Nice.
So after this, Japan's officially open for foreigners, bruv. All because Americans rudely barged and knocked on the door.
Same old, same old.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Foreign relations, Yanks, they got to be the best at it, clearly. Turn up with the guns. Worked on Japan, sort of. We'll see for them. So, after that, we're going to have a bit of a 14-year skip.
Fast forward.
Because a few years later, 14 years later, 3rd of January 1868, Japan goes through the Meiji Restoration.
What's that?
So this is like, Japan has like these different eras. the Meiji era, all things like that. The Sengoku Jidai and stuff like that. The Meiji Restoration was like the end of the shogun's power in Japan.
Okay.
So since the Sengoku Jidai, so when Oda Nobunaga, which we've done on an episode before, takes power as the shogun and ruler of Japan, since then, and with Hideyoshi and Tokugawa Ieyasu after the three unifiers, since then it's been completely run by the shogun, particularly the Tokugawa clan. And this is the end of that. The Meiji Restoration is just the end of the shogun's power. Won't go into too much detail because that's a whole episode in itself. Everything that went on.
So does it transfer over to like more of like a democracy sort of thing?
Back to the empire, back to the emperor. So after growing weaknesses inside the shogunate, like we saw about fucking sick boys, everyone being sick and
little femboys.
Yeah, loads of femboys, and looking weak after Matthew Perry punked them, made them look dumb as shit. Japan goes through a reform. It's a political event that restored practical imperial rule to Japan under Emperor Meiji.
Nice.
This ends up leading to the Boshin War, January 27th to 1868 to June 27th, 1869. Again, another episode, I reckon. Not going to go into full detail on that. It's very cool, though. It's like a literal civil war of like shoguns, chavis.
Yeah.
Shogun samurais versus emperor samurais.
Okay, because they weren't all happy about his decision then. No.
It's sort of like what happens in The Last Samurai. Don't know if you've ever seen that.
Great film,
especially for white boys. Us being The Last Samurai and that.
That's
fantastic. Sort of, but there's another actual rebellion later on, which is really based on.
Okay.
But the Boshin War is the character that Tom Cruise plays. Is based on a real man.
Okay.
Called James Brunet, who was actually a Frenchman. And he fought in the Boshin War on the side of the Shogun's army because he got over there and was a weeb. Which I'm going to address quickly. Actually, I was thinking about this. So, you know the whole thing calling people who like obsessed with anime in Japan and shit weebs. Yeah. I've decided that being a weeb is appropriating culture, but not appropriating Japanese culture.
Go on.
So. White people can't be weebs. Because it's appropriating black culture. Now hear me out. The first ever foreign samurai in Japan is Yasuke, who was a black man and got the role of samurai after being traded to Oda Nobunaga.
I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. So he obviously loved Japan.
So he was the OG.
He's the OG weeb. So and because obviously black people can't be racist, is what they say nowadays.
Yeah.
So if you're a weeb and you're white, actually you're appropriating black culture, and you should fucking stop it.
So you're actually being racist.
Yeah, super racist.
That's bang.
And also, white people can't watch anime anymore for that exact reason. It's only for black guys now.
Fucking hell.
Black guys and Japanese guys. That's just the law, I'm afraid.
Better throw your DVDs out.
Yeah, I mean, I've got a few actually. I can't watch. I think I've got Akira down there and Ghost in the Shell. I'm fucked, bro.
Pokemon cards, they can go in the bin.
Yeah. Ieuan's fucked. He can't be playing Pokemon ever again, bro. Absolutely fucked. Just remember that if anyone likes anime and they're listening. Stop appropriating black culture. So through this time, Japan are going through it. Bit of a rough moment for them, bro.
Yeah.
They're skint and they feel handicapped by foreign treaties. Because we sort of forced them to get into all these deals, or America did, the West. Sort of forced them to get into all these deals and treaties and trade routes. And it's known as a national time of shame because we're sort of fucking them over on the deals.
Yeah. Well, they're not the first.
No.
They should just get over it like everyone else did.
Like everyone else does. Just accept it. We empired you. But they're not getting on the global stage. Cultural differences as well.
Yeah.
So, like, Westerns like to get fucking party and rowdy and, like, after meetings and after business meetings and after treaties and shit. Japanese ain't like that.
No.
They are nowadays, business-wise. They love a drink.
It.
But back then, they just want to chill at home.
Nice, quiet.
Yeah.
All Fabian orientated.
Yeah, that's it. So they're not getting... There's also, from the rest of Europe, we're kind of putting off a little bit of white power vibes in this time in history.
Yeah, it's about right.
Yeah, we're kind of doing that a little bit. And we're sort of making the previously isolationist country... I described it as an autistic kid. of a country because he did. He just wanted to be left alone.
Yeah.
He just wanted to be left alone.
Sit
in the corner, wear his samurai clothes, wear his robes, swing his samurai sword about, and watch his anime. Yeah. That's all he wanted.
We've come and fucked it up.
And the big American bully came and fucked it over, and then British mate and all the French mates started turning up and being like, he is weird. Look at him. He eats with sticks. Doesn't wear shoes indoors. Sits on his arse.
Lives with his mum and dad.
What's this sword he's got about? He's obsessed with this sword. Stop dressing like a fucking robot, bruv.
I feel like we're going back to that sort of culture now. You know, everyone's living at home with their parents still.
Oh, yeah, totally.
I reckon another couple of generations. We'll have 5 generations in one house.
Oh,
just can't afford to move out.
Yeah, no doubt. That will happen. That will happen in our lifetime, cuz. And then I'll pass on some samurai armour. Because that's how far it'll go.
So we might have to go back to swords anyway.
Yes, I'm sorted. I'll be all right. I've got a few laying about the house. So 1870s, the culture slowly starts to westernise more and more in Japan, though.
Yeah.
So it's taken a few years, but they're slowly getting used to it.
Start wearing trainers and that now.
That's it. Here's some of the key things I put in. They start importing bear guns, loads of guns.
Yeah.
They start importing even more. They fucking love them. They start fucking loving beef.
Yeah?
Yeah, because they were like a very pescatarian society.
Yeah.
A lot of fish.
So now got McDonald's popping up all over the place.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Burgers,
Burger Kings,
everything. But I only mentioned the beef because it's actually quite particular for like the 1870s.
Okay.
Like there's images of them like drawing cow head demon people and being like, well, fucking this guy's delicious. Take a cut of this guy. He tastes great. And obviously they invent Kobe beef eventually.
Okay.
Do you know that?
No.
It's like the most tastiest beef in the world.
Is it?
It's fucking gangster. You can only get Chubby. Have you ever had Wagyu?
Nah.
Okay, so next time you're in a restaurant...
I'm an uncultured swine.
Okay, next time you're in a restaurant,
yeah.
Some steakhouses do it. It's expensive, but it's fucking worth it.
Yeah.
Wagyu beef. It's the tastiest shit ever. But the thing is, Wagyu is like the Western or the non-Kobe version of Kobe beef.
Right.
Because Kobe beef can only be from Kobe in Japan.
Okay, got you.
And what it is, it's the way they feed the cow. They just fucking feed it like a fat cunt and give it beer. And in Kobe, they massage it every day, get him drunk every day and massage him with beer and shit.
He's living the best life.
Best life. And apparently it makes them delicious.
So when all of us Brits die, we should taste great.
Yeah.
Really,
just beer battered, bruv.
No, I know them vegans, they taste disgusting.
Not as many massages, though, because those cows are getting daily massages.
Yeah, I prefer a few more massages.
Yeah, it wouldn't be bad. Wouldn't be bad at all. Not only are they loving beef, they start fucking loving Jesus.
Yeah?
And ironically, mate, I don't know if it's because of the loving Jesus, they also start fucking hating gay people.
That's never cool, is it?
I mean, it seems to go hand in hand with loving Jesus.
I reckon Jesus was actually gay.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon? And
they don't want a secret to get out, so they pretend that they hate him so much to hide his little secret.
Sort of makes sense, because in my head, Jesus is like a stoner masseuse.
Yeah.
Who went around and healed people with cannabis oil. And gave them massages.
That's why I always...
Gay Jesus can work into that as well.
Yeah.
Nice.
100%.
Look at that. Ieuan's not here for one episode and it turns into blasphemy. He's hitting at home right now. His Jesus senses tingling and he's like, there's blasphemy going on one of my episodes. What's going on?
but now we've said it's fact. So
yeah, well, historians, brother. But yeah, so with the gay thing, it's only worth mentioning because before that, like, Japan was very open to homosexuality.
Yeah.
Like, very open.
I loved it. Well, it's all incestuous, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, not for that reason. But it was...
you can't get a man pregnant.
In the Hagakure, which is like the ancient book of the samurai written by one particular family and that, it was like this weird connection between master and student. So basically it was like, I taught you how to be a boss man samurai. Yeah, so suck my dick. I taught you how to throw ninja stars, dude. Like, come on. You are the knight. You're basically Batman.
That's what geography teachers do in school nowadays.
I taught you basic maths. Yeah. Now suck my dick. Catholic priests too. Yeah. You know what I mean? I taught you about Jesus. Now suck my dick.
Suck a dick.
So, you can see where it came from.
Just carry on traditions.
Yeah, that's
just traditional people.
But unlike Catholics, they had to just stop the dick sucking when they loved Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's the opposite way around.
Yeah. So 1870, they start loving Jesus, stop sucking dicks, and start eating loads of fucking cow. And getting guns. They're almost turning into Americans.
That's not good for anybody, is it?
Considering they're the chappies who opened them up as well. You know what I mean? Opened them up like a fucking Pringles can, boy. 1873 to 1877. Again, something I'm not going to get into too much detail because this could be another dope episode. It's the Satsuma Rebellion. They start
throwing oranges at each other.
They're just pissed. They just
a massive food fight.
All of Japan just erupts into this massive food fight. Only Satsumas though. Like if you throw
slightly smaller, aren't they?
Yeah, if you throw a clementine, people are pissed.
Yeah, pissed off.
Yeah, angry. No melons. Fuck about.
People walking around orange faces. It's start of Donald Trump.
Trying to kill someone, and you just throw a mandarin, bruv. Fuck off. Satsumas only. But this is the real war that Last Samurai is based on.
Right.
But there's no white guy in this one.
There's no Satsumas.
There's no Satsumas. No. It's just a clan, a samurai
clan. They just put Satsumas in a machine gun.
There might have been their little logo, like their samurai armour. They might have had little oranges. That'd be cute.
Where are Satsumas from? Are they from Japan?
Oh, they might be, I guess. It
sounds
quite... Satsuma Rebellion.
Yeah. Sounds quite Japanesey.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Let's put it there.
It's there, it's fact. It's in there.
Not worth Googling. No. Just say it. Googling makes dead air. Satsumas are from Satsuma. So, yeah, again, that's another episode in itself. It was led by a dude named Saigo Takamori. We'll probably look into him one day.
Yeah.
Sounds like a straight geezer. 1979. After all this, Japan's kicked off a little bit at itself. They're getting their shit together. They're getting all armed up. They're loving beef. They're loving Jesus. They don't fuck around. 1879. Seeing that most top dogs on the global stage are imperial powers, now they're fully armoured to the teeth. They're real-life samurai mech dudes. So, like, this is what I always thought about Matthew Perry going to Japan.
Yeah.
Why it was done.
I've actually got his face in my head.
Put him in a little naval suit and shit. This is actually, like, I always say about him going to Japan and, like, trying to... getting them to open up for trade. He gave a nation that had dedicated their lives to the art of war for 200 years. Centuries before that were just warring for hundreds of years, which are run by a military leader, and you gave them modern arms.
Yeah.
It's the dumbest shit. They literally, like, do you know Japanese love giant robots? Yeah. Like, the idea of a samurai sort of looks like those giant robots in the armour and shit.
Yeah.
So the ones in the cartoons when you see them, they got, like, fucking guns popping out of their fucking armour and shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what they did. They put rifles in samurai armour. They made human mechs.
So it's like robots were written in the stars for them from day one.
100%.
And now they've got them.
Now they got them. They got armour and they got rifles. They're looking naughty, bruv. And they decided to go Empire in.
Because they're only small people as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
So like they can beef up a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Fucking stock loads of fucking rocket launchers on your shoulder pads.
And they're brave as well. They're just like mentally brave, aren't they? Always have been.
So
like crazy.
Talking of that, like, oh yeah, they'll like kill themselves and surrender and shit.
Like, how do you fight against that?
You can't, bruv.
So
you can't.
And now you've given them guns.
So one of the things worth mentioning, like, and this is going a little bit far ahead on the timeline, but I was later on, I was watching a documentary the other night, and there was this interview of a Japanese pilot from World War II.
Yeah.
And he was talking about, like, the bonsai charges.
Right.
So during World War II, the Japanese would just send streams of troops, even though they know they'd get mostly machine gunned down.
Yeah.
Just fucking send the waves in. Hopefully a few chavies get through.
Yeah.
At the same time, you had the kamikaze pilots as well, flying their planes into boats, straight into boats and that. This Japanese pilot made a fucking good point. And I was like, right, all right, fair enough, fella. He went, look, we are a nation of warriors, and we have been for centuries.
Yeah.
We have an imperial family, an empire that dates back for 2,500 years, and we've never been successfully invaded as an island.
Yeah.
Tell me you're not going to fight like hell for that. And I was like, wow.
That's a good point.
You know what I mean? I was like, yo, I know the other deep, dark shit you guys did, but that's a pretty good point.
Yeah.
You're not excusing what we're getting on to later, but fair play, geezer.
Well, we couldn't say that about our little island, could we?
No, we couldn't.
We invaded so many fucking times.
So many times. Nowhere near as old royal family as 2,500 years old. I think it was 2,600 years old.
Yeah, that's something to be proud of.
Innit?
Yeah.
It's fucking wild, bro.
Geezers.
Absolute geezers. So yeah, they're armoured to the teeth. They're feeling brave. They decide to start empiring. 1879, they snatch up the island of Okinawa and the surrounding islands. They get that. 1885, both Japan and Germany at the same time, in this time, underwent a rapid military modernisation during this period. And they actually end up admiring each other's military prowess and reform.
Both standing there, stroking their chins, looking back.
Look at you, bruv. Nah, bruv, I'm doing it for you, geezer. I'm just trying to be like you, Germany.
Just proper giving each other like massive compliments constantly.
Just geeing each other up in the gym before they left. Nah, bro, look at you with all them rifles. Nah, you really did it, man.
You hang up first. You hang up.
So they're often looking at each other as models for modernisation. Germany starts sending envoys over to teach the ex-samurai military science.
Nice.
One dude even tells Japanese high-ups that the Korean peninsula is a knife pointing at the belly of Japan, and that if a foreign power was to get control of that area or Manchuria, Japan better watch its fucking six.
Yeah, that's a good point though as well.
It's not a bad little point. He's sort of like stirring the pot though. That prick. You're like, look over there, bruv.
And he's like, I know how much you all like swords and that. That looks like a sword.
yeah. You boys love a sword, didn't you?
Go get that sword.
They're pointing a sword at you.
Yeah.
White man's pointing a sword at you. That's Korea.
Yeah.
Not if the white man gets her. He's pointing his sword right at you, cuz. 11th of May, 1891. I mentioned this as well because I just like this story. It's something that happens, and I think it will lead to something later on. 11th of May 1891, you have the Otsu incident. Do you know anything about that?
No.
So the Otsu incident is an unsuccessful assassination attempt on Tsar Nicholas II of Russia.
Oh, okay.
So the emperor of Russia, bruv. He comes to Japan on a trip, and before this trip, he'd been quite a fan of the place. He even had a Japanese dragon tattoo on his arm.
Did he?
Yeah.
Did he have a Japanese writing as well that you're not sure what it says?
No idea what it says. He think it says Tsar, but it actually says twat. On his return journey to the hotel, though, one of his police escorts turns on him, swinging for him with a sword.
Of course it would be a sword.
Of course, bruv. The quick action of Nicholas's cousin, Prince George of Greece and Denmark, who parries the second blow with his cane, saves the Tsar's life.
That's like some fucking... What's that film? Where they got the canes, they're all like the spies.
Yeah.
Knightsman?
Knightsman, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. Yeah. That's what happened. The Knightsman jumped in, saved Tsar Nicholas. Nicholas is left with a 9-centimetre long scar on the right side of his forehead.
Nice.
For the rest of his life, bro.
Was this the geezer who like Rasputin?
Nicholas, Tsar Nicholas. Yeah, it is. It is exactly him. Because he's also the Tsar who gets dropped by the last one. That's worth mentioning because later on a little thing happens between the Japanese and the Russians.
Okay.
At the time when they asked the guy like, "Why'd you do that?" And he was like, "Oh, I thought he was a Russian spy."
Oh, okay. We still use that excuse now.
That's the president.
Yeah.
Like,
how can he be a spy?
You know what I mean?
Unless he was one of the fake czars.
Oh, one of the many fake czars.
There's about 6 of them.
Yeah, there was.
In a row.
What a person to call a spy. He's a spy.
Yeah.
No, I don't think he's a pretty shitty spy, bro.
Yeah,
he's not particularly undercover.
He's out in public.
Yeah.
He's not doing no ninja shit.
He's waving with a Russian flag behind him. Not sure about spy on that one, cuz. But either way, you can see sort of the Japanese thoughts towards foreigners in their country still, even after all that. At the time as well, Russia was looking pretty shifty at Manchuria and Korea.
Yeah.
So Japan were like,
stay away.
Stay the fuck away. 25th of July, 1894 to the 17th of April, 1895 is the first Sino-Japanese War. The second one's very important for later. The first Sino-Japanese War is a conflict between the Qing dynasty and the Empire of Japan. It's primarily over the influence in Korea.
Yep.
So Japan's just got word off that German geezer. Watch out in Korea. The Qing dynasty, they're like trying to modernise both their country. They're trying to modernise like China and that, while Japan's doing it at the same time.
Yeah.
This first Sino-Japanese war sort of proves that Japan have done it better than the Qing Empire at the time. During the war, Korea gains its sovereignty from China, but it's now got heavy Japanese influence.
Yeah.
Japan haven't quite annexed it yet, but they're
on their way.
Yeah, they're on their way. They're edging there. They definitely got the influence over there. Japan also gains a number of islands, including Taiwan, which came up earlier, which actually fought against Imperial Japan for years after.
Yeah.
It's sort of in their nature. You know what I mean?
They was fighting over who was going to get to make the McDonald's toys, weren't they?
yeah. Who's making the microchips? The what? The huh?
They about yet? Yeah, the CIA told Darwin what? They're not even a thing yet. That's what you think.
That's what you think. We need them microchips for robots. Huh? 1895, the Treaty of Shimonoseki. It ends the first Japanese Sino War, with Japan gaining control of Taiwan and the influence in Korea, and Russia, along with the Western powers, pressured Japan to relinquish some of its gains.
No.
So they're like, come on, Japan.
You've done too well there.
That's not cool. That's not cricket. Even though the rest of those countries are empire in the rest of the world, they're getting jealous of Japan.
You can't be doing that.
Come on, lads.
This is our game.
Yeah. We may have given you the guns, but you can't go around pointing them at people.
It's like when you teach someone something, they get better at it than you.
Yeah, that's it. They really did with that. Like, they really let the fucking, like, monster out of the box with that one, giving them guns, bruv, and ships.
You don't do that.
It's dumb. 1898 to 1903, diplomatic negotiations between Russia and Japan failed to resolve disputes over spheres of influence in Korea and Manchuria. In 1899 to 1901, again, this is a future episode, no doubt. It's the Boxer Rebellion in China.
Yeah.
Won't spend too long on it. It's just a violent anti-foreign and anti-Christian uprising in China. The reason I mention it is because there are 8 Western countries that jump in to fuck this Boxer Rebellion up.
Right.
One of them, not a Western one, but one of them is Japan. So you got Austria and Hungary, France and Germany, Italy, Russia, the UK and the United States all team up in a Megaform Voltron super mech to fuck China up, and Japan join in.
Just for lols.
Just for the lols. But for them, this is a big moment for them, isn't it?
They've been joined in a team with the big boys.
That's it. Yeah. They've gone from less than 100 years before that. They weren't letting anyone else into their country. They're letting.
Can I be on your team?
Yeah, and then they're like, let's join in with the big boys.
Yeah.
It's pretty big for them. You'd be quite pumped if you were Japan.
You're buzzing, yeah.
Yeah, you'd be hyped, bruv.
Good on them.
Yeah. They're concerned about the increasing Russian military presence in the Far East, though. The Japanese government faced domestic pressures to assert national pride and maintain popular support. Japan decided on preemptively striking, aiming to neutralise the Russian threat before it could grow stronger.
Oh, sounds familiar.
It's a little preemptive Japanese strike. I wonder when that's going to happen again. So February 8th of 1904, Japan launches a surprise attack on the Russian Pacific Fleet at Port Arthur, beginning the Russo-Japanese War.
Nice.
We're going to do the whole war in this episode because it doesn't last long for key events, bruv. May 27th, 1905 is the naval... February 8th is when they launched the surprise attack. May 27th, a year later, 1905, naval battle of Tsushima, a decisive Japanese victory over the Russian fleet. January 1905, Battle of Mukden, a major land battle on the Manchurian front, resulting in a Japanese victory.
Nice.
Two huge battles, both times Japan just smashing Russia.
2-0.
2-0, bro.
Loving it.
Can you imagine being little Japan and fucking up big old scary Russia? Yeah. Russia's been around for years. They've got a Tsar. They've got an Emperor, Nicholas II.
Not for long.
No, that's it. Well, that's one. A lot of the people think one of the things that led to the downfall
is the weakness there.
Yeah, the Japanese-Russo War, where they looked so bad. September 5th, 1905 is the Treaty of Portsmouth, mediated by my favourite US president of all time, Teddy Roosevelt. Yeah, the treaty ends the war. Japan gains control of Korea and parts of Manchuria.
Nice.
Japan are now looking fully Voltroned up, bruv.
They're going for it.
Oh, yeah, they've gone Super Saiyan, bruv.
Yeah.
Yeah! Fucking pulled the AK out. They're fully kaiju'd up, bruv. Like proper monsters. And they take the principle of Pax Japonica on their views of Asia. Do you know what that means?
No.
So we used to have this thing called Pax Britannica.
Okay.
So we're like the British Empire.
Yeah.
All, you know what I mean? And that's what Japan felt with. But they were saying it for Asia. Yo, all Asia is going to be Pax Japonica. It's going to be ours.
Nice. They had vision.
Well,
they had goals.
And the vision is because they see the Western countries shitting on them.
Yeah.
Making shitty treaties, making... The Japanese are the first big boys to play on the big table with them.
Yeah.
They know how shitty the Western powers are going to be when treating Asian people.
Yeah.
So they're just hedging their bets, I reckon.
So they could, trying to get some more support. So
in a way.
We're like you, but we can do it better.
Yeah.
Than,
they're trying to get... the way I look at it, they do it harshly, but they're just trying to get all the Asians together.
Yeah.
Asians unity.
Yeah. Race wars.
Right, yeah. But not race... Well, because it would be Asians versus West.
Yeah.
But did they want a war with us, or did they just not want us...
They just didn't want us to have that.
They just didn't want us doing opium wars on China.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That was rude, bruv.
Yeah, that was a bit rude.
Very fucking rude. They're just trying to stick up for their Asian brother. 1907, this is going to bite me in the arse, trying to stick up for Japan all this time when we come on to later on. 1907, Japan becomes a member of the Triple Entente with Britain and France.
Nice.
Funnily enough, it's Russia are in there as well. And it's a powerful counterweight to the Triple Alliance of the German Empire, the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and the Kingdom of Italy.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you can figure out where this is leading.
There's a war coming.
There's something great's coming. 1910, Japan finally annexes Korea. So this is them finally taking it and being like,
SARS now.
A move that marks the beginning of the period of Korean resistance and Japan's increased influence in the region. Now, I didn't ask you to look up any horrors in that, but there are some fucking horror stories from that. Like Japan going real naughty and Korea there. Real horror stories. But I thought I'd save them because there's going to be some worse ones later.
Coming up, yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, Japan really fucks with Korea there. Really bad. They've... The Japanese at this time in history were particularly nationalist. Like, even though, they're trying to make like an Asian hegemony? I don't know. Even though they're trying to get all the Asian boys together, they still think they're the top dog.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Asians.
Yeah, they're the best Asians is what they think.
The Koreans, what sort of history have they got? They've just been under like...
They've just
Chinese
been invaded a lot, bruv. Japan fucked with them in the past a lot.
Back so they haven't really had their own independence.
No. I mean, they have had periods.
Yeah,
but they've
nothing
been
like...
very heavily influenced by a lot of other empires. Heavily. 1912, Emperor Taisho ascends to the throne after the death of Emperor Meiji, making the start of the Taisho era. And in 1914... There's a little thing kicking off in the world during 1914.
Yeah, and it weren't that great.
It weren't that great, was it?
Who was
Second
it great?
one was better.
Who was it great for?
Yeah. Who was it great for?
I can't think of anyone it was great for.
I mean, the Treaty of Versailles weren't bad for us.
But what you had to go through to get there.
Yeah, probably not worth it, eh?
No.
Probably be cool if, like, it all didn't kick off if Queen Victoria's grandchildren could just fucking keep their shit together.
Yeah.
And not cause the rest of us to go to war over their fucking disputes.
Arseholes.
1914, Japan joins the Allied powers in World War One. So during World War One...
They're our pals.
They're our pals. Nice. They're our buddies. All during the start of the fucking 20th century. We're knocking out China with them.
Yeah.
We're fucking teaming up with them to fight World War One. They were the boys. They were all right. Japan, in January 1919, however, this is when it all starts to turn a bit sour.
Well, after the Great War.
After the Great War.
Yeah.
After World War One, Japan proposes the racial equality proposal.
Sounds right.
Nice.
Yeah.
They proposed it at the Paris Peace Conference in 1919. It's the same place the Treaty of Versailles was written. So in a way, that day in history, when they wrote the Treaty of Versailles and when Japan pitched the racial equality proposal, I feel that single day pretty much caused World War II.
Yeah.
Because check this out. The equality proposal is seeking to include a clause affirming racial equality in the covenant of the League of Nations.
Okay.
So the League of Nations is like the pre-UN, when we all got together after World War One and was like, come on guys, let's sort this shit out. And back then, the proposal aimed to counter racial discrimination and promote equal treatment of all nations, regardless of race or ethnicity, in the League of Nations. Fair enough ask.
Yeah.
Innit? Like, fair enough.
Pretty good.
However, the proposal faced opposition.
From who?
Well, particularly Western powers.
Oh, of course.
Notably the United States, Britain and Australia.
Fucking racists.
Yeah. The racial equality proposal is 100% rejected. I mean, it's a significant point of contention and disappointment of Japan.
Yeah.
This is when he goes back school shooter mode.
Yeah, they got a bit of beer in their bonnet now, ain't they?
Yeah, sticks his hood up, sits at the back of the class,
Yeah.
starts looking around like, Germany, you better not come to school tomorrow because I like you.
Yeah. Fuck you all up. Yeah, because hold on, they liked Germany before the Great War as well, didn't they?
Yeah. But then they still hooked up with us in World War One
to go against them.
Yeah, and then when they turned around, like, hey, we helped you guys out. How about you guys just don't make like squinty-eyed jokes at us anymore? Can you guys stop making jokes about us living in paper houses and sitting on our arse?
Yeah.
And the English and the Americans were like, fuck no.
Nah.
Fuck no.
The wheelie bin jokes are staying.
Yeah. 1920. Despite getting shit on a bit, Japan still joins the League of Nations. They're still up for a little bit of teamwork, bro. And like I said, the League of Nations is the first intergovernmental organisation established to promote international cooperation and to achieve international peace and security.
And that should have been the end of it.
It should have been the end of it. Guess who don't join the League of Nations, funnily enough, though? Because they've now gone all isolationist.
Go on.
The USA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the USA didn't join the League of Nations. And less than 100 years before this, these were the dudes knocking at Japan, being like,
you
open
need
the
to join
fuck up!
us. Yeah.
Open the fuck up! And now, back when all the whole world's like, let's all open together, America's like, nah, fam.
No, actually. We just keep repeating ourselves over and over again.
Over and over again. I've noticed that lately. So I got spooked in the news recently when the US said that they're going to start giving immigrants green cards if they sign up to the military.
Right.
Now, I know some people who freaked out like, bah! Just in like a racist way about it. That doesn't bother me because that's just been the United States since the get-go. Yeah. That's how they've always done it. It's always been a nation of immigrants, right? And as far back as the US Civil War, that's why there's so many Irish people in America.
Yeah.
It's because during the US Civil War, the Republicans were giving Irish immigrants citizenship to fight for them in the Civil War.
Against the British.
Exactly. No, not the British. Against the South in the US Civil War. So it's been a part of US history for them to do that with immigrants forever.
Yeah.
But they only did it in wartime.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what freaks me out, is that we're not officially in wartime yet. This goes back to that point made earlier, that are we in World War III without us knowing?
Yeah.
Yet they're passing laws like that, which previously, when you look at history, were passed during wartime.
Yeah. So we are in a war.
Yeah.
Well, they are in a war.
1,000%.
Yeah.
1,000%. So, the USA being isolationist now when it comes to the League of Nations.
Nah.
Bit rude, isn't it?
The thing is, you say they were grown on immigration. They've got so many different cultures there.
Yeah.
And heritage lines.
How can they be isolationist?
Couldn't possibly, they couldn't be.
It's mental. But at the same time, it's like, are they ice because they're getting out and being like, well, we are the freedom place. But just isolationist is a bit far. When the whole League of Nations is getting together, they helped out in World War One a bit as well. Like, come on, lads.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He came and helped out of the game, but he didn't come to the after party, did he? Didn't come to the team meeting.
Pussy.
You know. 1920s, Japan experienced political and economic turbulence.
Oh dear.
So while the rest of the world is going through the roaring 20s, they're fucking shitting a brick a bit. It's marked by social unrest, economic difficulties, and political assassinations.
Ooh.
Few key things that happened as well. 1923, you got the Great Kanto earthquake, causing widespread destruction in Tokyo and Yokohama. 1926, Emperor Taisho passes away, and Emperor Hirohito ascends to the throne, making the beginning of the Showa era.
Okay.
So it's not looking good for them right now.
No.
You know, they're being shit on by other countries. Economic bad time. 1930s, globally, we all know what happens. The big sad, bruv. The Great Depression.
Yeah.
Big sad.
Again, what's great about it?
Yeah,
Why do we
they
keep calling these great?
names out, didn't they? Big sad, I
Are
think
we
is a much
sure
better
great
name.
means what we think it means? Did it mean something else back then?
I guess it does. I think it just means huge.
Huge, massive,
Big.
massive.
Absolutely huge. So yeah, the big sad happens. The
Yeah.
Japanese economy suffers debilitating effects from two sources: the impact of the worldwide depression and the appreciation of the yen associated with the return to the gold standard. The consequences economically were abrupt deflation and severe contraction of economic
What, when they went back to
activities.
gold?
What's that?
Just say they went back to gold.
Yeah, the return to gold standards. Yeah, the appreciation of the yen associated with the return to gold standard.
And it went down.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because everyone's fucking with the petrodollar.
Yeah.
1929, 1932. At this point in history, Japan imported 36% of its scrap iron for munitions and ships from the USA.
Wow.
So not a lot. Just thought worth mentioning, because I'm going to come up with some numbers later on it.
We'll start building some little robots.
Yeah, just tiny little robots.
ones.
Little scrap robots. September 18th. Well, actually, no nuke yet. So we ain't told them to build robots for everyone yet.
No.
They're just building robot armour for themselves.
Maybe a robot lover.
Maybe a robot lover.
Yeah.
You know, they're freaky like that. September 18th, 1931. An explosion near a Japanese-owned railway in Mukden, now Shenyang, Manchuria. The Japanese accused Chinese dissidents of the incident. This is
That
the
sounds
Mukden
like a
incident.
good excuse for something.
Good excuse for a little something. The Japanese Kwantung Army claimed that the railway was sabotaged by Chinese forces and used this as a pretext to justify military intervention in Manchuria. It was, in fact, nowadays we have learned, guess what?
Was it a false flag?
Little FF, bruv. Little false flag. Fucking wild, huh?
Been doing that for years.
Years. Burning the Reichstag. The
Jesus.
fucking Mukden incident.
Yeah.
Gulf of Tonkin.
Yeah.
9/11. I mean,
It's not proven
few
yet.
little fucking false flags laying about, bro.
Fucking hell.
September 19th. September 20th, 1931. So a day after the Mukden incident and war being declared, Japanese forces, without official approval from Tokyo, initiated a full-scale invasion of Manchuria, quickly capturing key cities and territories.
Moving quick.
All very fast. September 27th, 1931, the Japanese Kwantung Army seized Shenyang, leading to the occupation of the entire region.
Nice.
March 27th, 1933.
Did anyone have anything to say about this at the time?
Everyone's not too happy about it. They didn't think it was
They
great.
weren't mad enough to
Do anything.
do anything with it.
No, but they were
No.
just like, Japan, good dudes.
Yeah.
Come on. Not cool, man. March 27th, 1933. The withdrawal followed... them entering Manchuria followed international criticism and condemnation of Japan's actions. Meanwhile, on the same day as the League of Nations shitting on Japan,
Yeah.
Germany just got a new chancellor.
Ah, that's good news.
Important fella.
Yeah.
2 years after all this, now keep in mind, AH has only just become the chancellor in Germany.
Yeah.
Yeah. World War II hasn't even kicked off yet. And in 1935, in Pingfang, China, Japanese forces built a facility to be used by a little unit called Unit 731.
And what do they do in Unit 731?
Well, Ross, I like that you're chuckling about this, because you weren't meant to be on this week because we thought you were going to be away, and I asked you to pick me up some little notes to use with Ieuan, because I was busy doing the timeline and that. I was like, if you could get some of these notes for me, that would be sick. You fucking came through, bruv. So I know you know a little bit about Unit 731. And guys, if you thought Nazi scientists were evil, wait until you hear about these guys.
Hold on to your hats.
Yeah. So the unit employed gruesome tactics to secure specimens of select body organs. If Ishii, one of the scientists, I'm assuming, or one of his co-workers wished to do research on the human brain, then they would order the guards to find them a useful sample. The prisoner would be taken from his cell. Guards would hold him while another guard would smash the victim's head open with an axe. His brain would be extracted off to the pathologist and then to the crematorium for the usual disposal. Nakagawa Yonezo said, another survivor, I guess, not survivor, another one of the doctors, some of the experiments had nothing to do with advancing the capability of germ warfare or of medicine. There is such a thing as professional curiosity.
Yeah.
Grimy, bro.
Not good, is it?
Professional curiosity.
Yeah. What happens if we do this to this person? How long will it take them to... A
mad scientist having professional curiosity, bruv. That's a bad
do you reckon
recipe.
there's still professional curiosity?
I wonder... Do you really think people like this don't get funded anymore?
Harold Shipman?
Yeah, exactly.
Anthony Fauci?
What happened if we did such and such? What medical purpose was served by performing and studying beheadings? None at all. That was just playing around. Professional people, too, like to play.
Yeah.
Grimy, bruv. Prisoners had limbs amputated in order to study blood loss. Limbs removed were sometimes reattached to the opposite side of the victims' bodies. Some prisoners had their stomachs surgically removed and their esophagus reattached to the intestines.
I think this is where the human centipede started.
Fucking
possibly.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was influence for like the movie, bruv. Yoshihiro Hisato, a physiologist in Unit 731, had a special interest in hypothermia and used human subjects to test humans' reactions to frostbite. Sato routinely submerged prisoners' limbs in a tub of water filled with ice and held them there until the limbs were frozen solid and a coat of ice were formed around the skin. He timed the victims to check how long it took for the human bodies to develop frostbites. According to one of the witnesses to the frostbite testing, the limbs made a sound like a plank of wood when struck with a cane. Then he tried different methods for rapidly thawing off the frozen appendages, such as dousing limbs with hot water, open fire, or leaving the subject untreated overnight to see how long it took for the prisoner's blood to thaw it out.
Nice.
Unit 731 was able to prove scientifically that the best treatment for frostbite was to immerse it in water a bit warmer than 100 degrees, but never warmer than 122.
See, I'm pretty sure you probably could have worked that out without putting someone through that.
Maybe.
So you just put your hand in some warm water and see if it fucking melts.
I mean, at least even animal testing, bro, is better than fucking... You know what I mean?
I mean, surely people had frostbite in the past.
Yeah.
And there's been, like, ways of...
These dudes got it down to 22 degrees, bro. Yeah. In between 100 and 120. They got it down.
Yeah, we needed them experiments.
Vivisection is the practice of performing operations on living beings for the purpose of experimentation or scientific research. Vivisection was performed in Unit 731 without anaesthesia to study the operations on living systems. Grimy, bruv.
It's not good, is it?
Live operations just to see, just to have a look.
And this was before...
This is pre-World War II, bruv.
Yeah.
This is 1933. 35. So this is only 2 years after Hitler's got power in Germany.
Yeah.
Japan's currently doing this in Manchuria. They just, in 1935, they build the building to start these experiments. That's 4 years before the breakout.
Is this the
It's before the Night of Knives. That's before the Night of Broken Glass.
Yeah, all of this shit.
Before I'm assuming, might not be 100% correct, but I'm pretty sure this is even before Hitler's putting Jewish people in ghettos.
Yeah.
The Japanese are doing this to the Chinese in Manchuria.
Was this the first or the second? Did you read much into the building that they built?
No.
They started it somewhere.
This is the second building.
Yeah, and then they built this one specially for it.
Yes, this is the building specifically for... Yeah, I read that far. This building is the one specifically for these tests. What is it? Oh, yeah. It was performed on thousands of victims, vivisection, mostly Chinese communist prisoners, as well as children. Deserved it. As well... No, it's too harsh. I can't even fucking joke about that. This is fucking wild shit. As well as children and elderly farmers. So you definitely can't joke about it. They were infected with diseases such as cholera and the plague, and then had their organs removed for examination before they died, in order to study the effects of the disease without decomposition after death.
Yeah, so they're getting these organs removed while they're still alive.
Yep.
And infected with a disease.
Yep. Just to
Fucking
see what the
mental.
cracks go. Just to see what's going on.
And it was like, they didn't care about the person there still being alive. They wanted the organ alive.
Yes.
And that's why they've whipped it out.
Yes.
I mean, after that, that's just a vessel there now. They don't care what happens.
No,
They've got what they wanted.
Similar to what the CCP, I guess, are doing with organ harvesting nowadays and shit like that, huh? They also airdropped... This one's what crazy. They also airdropped the bubonic plague fleas over Chinese villages.
I didn't realise they had the iPhones there.
Unit 731 studied bayonets, swords and knives with the use of their prisoners. They also studied flamethrowers on both covered and exposed skin.
Fuck's sake.
They set dudes on fire.
Yeah.
They also set up gas chambers to test subjects with blister agents and nerve gas. They also studied prolonged X-ray exposure, which sterilised and killed thousands of testing subjects. The Imperial Japanese Army was interested in... This one's, for me, the grimiest one. The Imperial Japanese Army was interested in the symptoms and treatment of syphilis. Male prisoners infected with syphilis were ordered to rape female and male prisoners to monitor the onset of the disease.
Yeah.
More rapes were arranged until the exposure established infection. There were human subjects locked up and deprived of food and water to learn. Well, they did that to... they forcibly impregnated female prisoners of childbearing age who were pregnant were also tested because they wanted to see the reaction on unborn children with syphilis. All sorts, bro.
That's not too far from what... Didn't the Americans do a syphilis test similar to this as well?
Did they really?
And this was more
probably not with all the freezing shit.
No, more recent. It was a syphilis thing.
Oh, okay.
They took a load of, I think it was black men.
Yeah.
And said they were going to treat them for syphilis or something like this.
Yeah.
And what they'd done is they didn't actually give them anything. Like they were giving them like empty pills, basically.
Yeah.
Or treatments, whatever it was. And so these guys were thinking that they were being cured of syphilis, but what they're actually doing is spreading it around their communities.
Fucking
I need to find out the actual name for that.
That's yeah.
That was recent. That was like, I'm sure that was like 60s or 70s.
Oh fucking hell!
Yeah, more recent than this.
Well, they probably fucking got the idea from a few chavies, didn't they? Yeah. So human subjects were locked up, deprived of food and water, to learn how long humans could survive like that. In order to study crash injuries, heavy subjects were dropped into heavy objects were dropped into bounded prisoners. The effects of high G forces on pilots and falling paratroopers were studied by loading humans into large centrifuges and spun them at higher and higher speeds until they lost consciousness. So all those NASA tests,
that's fucking that come from here.
All their results, they never took it too far.
Just some fucking extreme waltzers.
Yeah.
Imagine the pikeys on that.
Japanese pikeys giving them the fucking spin. Come on, lads.
With a slight Irish accent as well, weirdly.
Japanese Irish accent. Let me give it.
Imagine.
Oh, no, I can't do it.
Don't even attempt it.
I'm not sure. Sound like a pirate.
That was the Tuskegee
experiments. Yeah, I've heard of them.
That was a syphilis one.
Fucking hell. Pregnant test subjects were infected with various diseases, exposed to chemical weapons, crash injuries, bullet wounds, shrapnel injuries. Then they were opened up and the effects of the fetuses were studied.
Ugh.
Pregnant women with syphilis was a special interest of the researchers of Unit 731.
Special fetish.
Yeah, special fetish. But, so that's pretty much all the horrors I've got on Unit 731. But here's a nice little interesting fact for you about them. While Unit 731 researchers arrested by Soviet forces were tried at the December 1949 Khabarovsk war crime trials, those captured by the United States were secretly given immunity in the exchange for the data gathered during the human experiments. The United States helped cover up the human experimentations and handed stipends to the perpetrators.
That sounds very familiar to what they've done with the German ones.
It is. Sounds a lot like Operation Paperclip.
Yes.
Admittedly, the Russians took Nazis too for their science.
Yeah.
But at least they tried these fucking mad cunts.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not 100% sure of some of the horrors that happened in Jewish concentration camps or German concentration camps. But this sounds fucking mental. This wasn't even a concentration camp. This was a straight up, no, here's a madhouse.
Yeah.
Here's a human
It
experimentation.
was basically just a prison, and then they just went experimented on prisoners.
And again, all of this is pre-World War II. This is 35 that they build that fucking building to do all this shit in.
I know the Nazi ones, they were like simulating pressures and rockets and things like that.
Yeah.
And making people explode. But that's pretty grim.
It's pretty dark. Like, samurais don't seem as cool anymore.
No.
I feel bad for bigging up Japan earlier.
Yeah.
It's fucking horrific, isn't it? There's not much you can say on it. It's just like,
the advancement in science was...
Look, I just know if I've got frostbite, I'm looking for the kettle and a thermometer and making sure it's between 100 and 122.
Staying away from Japanese people.
Don't go to a sushi restaurant if you've got frostbite, bro. So, November 25th, 1936, Japan and Germany signed the Anti-Comintern Pact, directly against the spread of communism.
Nice.
Yeah. July 7th, 1937, Japanese and Chinese troops clash near the Marco Polo Bridge, southwest of Beijing.
You spoke about Marco Polo before?
I have plenty of times. Yeah, I love it. Great TV show as well. But yeah, so there's a Marco Polo Bridge southwest of Beijing, and the Marco Polo Bridge incident is a dispute between Japanese and Chinese soldiers.
Over 9 million bicycles.
Well, I fucking love how it starts. It started by a Japanese dude who had the shits while out on exercise.
Oh, they're fighting over toilet paper.
Well, he went for a quick blurry shit in the bushes.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, because the Japanese are all pixelated. If you watch Japanese porn, you'll see they're all pixelated. So he goes for a quick blurry shit in the bushes, and he gets lost on his way back, and he doesn't return to his post. When he doesn't return to his post, the Japanese demand permission to enter Waiping to find the dude.
Right.
The Chinese deny permission for the Japanese to enter, and they spaz the fuck out. They freak the fuck out, and both forces start mobilising, kicking off around 11 o'clock at night. Gunfire kicks off.
So you must have him if you're not letting us in.
Yeah.
If you ain't got him, show us.
Yeah. And they all kick off. Funnily enough, while it's all kicking off, so around about 11 p.m. when everyone's rushing to get everything together, the dude who took a shit eventually returns to his fucking position. But by then it's too late. Everyone's fucking mobilising.
So he just picks up a gun as well.
Yeah, just joins in. Like, fucking, who are we looking for? Who is it we're looking for?
I see a story recently. Some woman went missing. I think they was out hiking or something.
During the search party.
Yeah, she went off for a fucking toilet or whatever like that.
Fucking hell.
They can't find her. They've done the count. There's one missing. So they're like looking around for her. She's joined in looking for herself, and she doesn't
Fucking
realise that they're looking
hell.
for her. Yeah.
That's exactly what happened here.
Just on a bigger scale with guns and shit.
Yeah, it just caused the second Sino-Japanese War, that's all.
You know.
July 8th, 1937, the fighting at the Marco Polo Bridge intensifies, leading to a large-scale conflict. Both sides mobilise more forces, marking the escalation of hostilities. July 9th, Japanese forces capture the Marco Polo Bridge. The conflict spreads to the other areas in northern China. This event is often considered the starting point of the Second Sino-Japanese War.
Yeah, they should have named it after the shitting guy.
Yeah, shouldn't they? Yeah. Dude's fuck up. Tanako's big shit. The conflict between China and Japan expands into a full-scale war, involving significant military operations, atrocities, and the occupation of various Chinese territories by Japanese forces. This is obviously some more naughty manoeuvres from Imperial Japan. So, according to, I'm not sure who, but some nerd on a documentary I watched, Chinese civilian deaths for the Sino-Japanese War were at 12 million.
Fucking hell.
Civilian deaths, right?
What was their population back then, though?
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but some nerd on a documentary did the maths. That's 2,963 days of war. Divide that by 12 million civilian casualties. Means 4,000 civilian deaths a day.
Fucking hell.
It's crazy, that, isn't it?
It's almost as bad as COVID.
Not quite, bruv. We've got to lock everyone down. Yeah. And one noteworthy atrocity, if I should call it that, is the fact that Japan managed to become, during the Second Sino-Japanese War, the only country to ever cop a rape charge.
Yeah?
Like, full on get a rape charge.
Nice.
Heard of a little thing called the Rape of Nanking?
Oh, I think I have heard of that.
Yeah. So, look, every country massacres, every country enslaves and takes over. No other country in history have I ever seen get given a rape charge.
No.
But Japan get the Rape of Nanking. That's December the 13th, 1937. And it lasts for 6 weeks. Long old.
That's a long old rape.
Yeah, bruv. Like, I know the
He's got stamina.
The missus gets annoyed when I only last a few seconds, but 6 weeks, I think, should be a bit annoyed at that.
He must have had a few blue pills.
So, in 1937, the Osaka... Here's some atrocities from the Rape of Nanking. Basically, what it was is, Japan invade the Nanking area, but they go a little wild, bruv. Yeah. They go a little hardcore.
It's party time.
It's party time. Blurry party time.
Spring break.
Yeah. When was it? December. Christmas holidays.
Yeah, there we go.
New Year's.
Yeah.
In 1937, the Osaka Mainichi Shinbun and its sister newspaper, the Tokyo Nichi Nichi Shinbun. Nichi Nichi Shinbun.
That weren't the guy that went in the woods, was it?
Nichi Shitty Bum. He's the one who caused the rape. Do you know what I mean? Just because he couldn't fucking hold it in.
What was that old toilet paper called? Charming.
Charming, yeah. Maybe it's named after him, bro.
Yeah, I reckon it is.
So these two newspapers covered a contest between two Japanese officers during the Rape of Nanking, Toshiaka Mukai and Tsuyoshi Noda, of the Japanese 16th Division. The two men were described as vying to be the first to kill 100 people with a sword before the capture of Nanjing. A competition in a newspaper, bruv.
What's that fucking TV program now?
Takeshi's Castle?
No, not that.
Go on.
Oh, fuck. I'm sure it's like...
Geezers fighting
Chinese,
over to kill
Japanese,
100...
Something like that, and they die.
Squid
Games, that was it, yeah. Where is that?
It's sort of like a...
I've never seen it.
I think it's Korean.
Korea, is it? Yeah.
I think so. Sort of, but maybe not, because this is just two dudes running about with a sword.
Yeah, just...
No one just being
Billy
Squid
Big
Game,
Bollocks.
just cutting people up. From Zhejiang to Tangxing, two cities in China, Mackay had killed 89 people, while Noda had killed 78. The contest continued because neither had killed 100 people. By the time they had arrived at Zijin Mountain, Noda had killed 105 people, while Mackay had killed 106 people. Both officers supposedly surpassed their goal during the heat of battle, making it impossible to determine which officer had actually won the contest. Therefore, according to journalists, On December 13th, they decided to begin another contest to kill 150 people.
Fair enough. That's what you do, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's one thing going on.
It's like the achievements on Instagram. It's like,
get
500 likes on that post. And once you've got the 500, it's like, get 1,000. Fuck off.
Fuck off. With a sword as well.
Yeah.
Fucking hardcore, bruv.
It almost feels like, like when lads are walking around, how many girls you shagged?
Yeah.
10, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
12,
I've got this. What's your body count? Yeah, all that shit. I've got heads, bruv. I've got a head count. I got them in a backpack. I got the Swiss sword to fuck with people. On 19th of December 1937, the Reverend James M. McCallum wrote in his diary, I know not where to end. Never I have heard or read such brutality. Rape, rape, rape. We estimate at least 1,000 cases a night, and many by day. In case of resistance or anything that seems like disapproval, there is a bayonet stab or a bullet. People are hysterical. Women are being carried off every morning, afternoon and evening. The whole Japanese army seems to be free to go and come as it pleases, and to do whatever it pleases.
You can see why the Chinese population is so big now.
A lot of dudes who walked real far, and they're horny now.
Yeah.
And they got pixelated penises. Shiro Azuma, a Japanese soldier, testified in a 1998 interview, when I tried to cut off the first one, either the farmer moved or I misaimed. I ended up slicing off just part of his skull.
Ugh.
Blood spurted upwards. I swung again, and this time I killed him. We were taught that we were a superior race, since we lived only for the sake of a human god, our emperor. But the Chinese were not, so we held nothing but contempt for them. There were many rapes, and the women were always killed. When they were being raped, the women were human, but once the rape was finished, they became pig flesh.
Mm.
Yeah. So that's the rape of Nanking, guys. Pretty horrific.
It's a bit of a wrong party.
Yeah.
And then once you wake up the next day, you go,
oh,
did I see that?
Shouldn't have done that last night. The modern consensus of the massacre lays at around 200,000 dead in a matter of weeks.
Fucking hell. I take it. Who else was there? People reporting on this at the time.
Oh yeah, because
the other countries knew.
Yeah, so there was an area of in Nanking, I believe, where it was like an area where a lot of foreign diplomats lived.
Yeah.
And a lot of fucking Westerners and people saw this and were like, "Yo,
what the fuck?
Chill the fuck out, guys. Calm the fuck down." So during this second Sino-Japanese war, suffice to say, even with everything else going on in the world, the Western world are pretty disgusted with Japan right now. Yes, and of course the Unit 731 weren't just around, and the whole of the second Sino-Japanese war kind of went on throughout World War II.
Yeah.
So all these atrocities were still happening.
Yeah.
All throughout. By 1938, Japan were depending on the US for a third of all its imports. So during all that time, during all of these horrors going on,
America still had their finger in.
Oh yeah, Japan are getting 74% of their scrap metal from the US, 60% of their machine tools and all sophisticated alloys. By 1939, despite being sick at exporting copper, they still had to import 100,000 tons of copper, 93% of that from the US, and 86% of all their oil came from the US.
So someone's making a pretty penny.
Oh yeah. The US pretty much gave Japan the lube to rape Nanking with, bruv. Do you know what I mean? It's fucked up, isn't it?
You know,
fucking crazy, bruv.
They gave him the Viagra as well, so I could keep it up.
Yeah, keep it going. A little side note in 1939. Little kickoff happens.
Oh, what's that?
Germany and Russia invade Poland, and World War II kicks off.
Yeah, did they know it was called World War II this time?
I think they might have actually.
It wasn't just the Great Wars to the second one.
And so the rest of the world are kind of preoccupied right now to deal with Japan.
Bit busy.
1940, April. The United States move its Pacific Fleet to Pearl Harbour in Hawaii.
Nice place.
Lovely, beautiful. The decision was made in response to growing tensions in the Pacific and the increasing threat of conflict with Japan. Several factors influenced the decision to relocate the fleet. In fact, it might be a deterrence. The move was intended to serve as a deterrent to a potential Japanese aggression in the Pacific. The US presence at Pearl Harbour was meant to discourage any Japanese attack.
Yeah. Okay.
Let's point all our navy at them. It's also a strategic location. It offered a strategic location for the Pacific Fleet, provided a central position in the Pacific that allowed for easier deployment in response to the potential threats across the region.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And obviously Japan are concerned about... America are concerned about Japan's expansionist policies in East Asia, particularly an invasion on China and France occupied Indochina.
Yeah.
So moving the Pacific Fleet to Pearl Harbour was sort of like literally just a strategic position against specifically Japan.
Yeah.
May 1940. And remember, at this point, 86% of US citizens are
didn't want to join the war.
No, they don't want to join the war.
No.
And FDR is even saying, your boys will never fight in a foreign war.
Yeah. That's how he got his election, wasn't it?
Yeah, Franklin D. Roosevelt was him saying that.
Yeah.
May 1940, Germany invades France and takes the entire country, Belgium and Holland, in 6 weeks.
Some fucking good going. That's some good marching.
Crazy, isn't it? That's quick marching, bruv.
He'd heard about Napoleon's records and marching.
Yeah.
I fucking beat that.
Watch this. My boys can fucking... What's it called when you're like walking and running at the same time? Speed running. Check this speed running shit. We speed
That's
march,
the start
boys.
of it.
At that point as well, Germany are knocking pretty fucking loudly on Britain's door.
Yeah.
You know, Battle of Britain, fucking Blitz, all of it kicking off.
Lighting up the skies.
Lighting up the skies, bruv. Sending the kids to the countryside, hide them out. September 27th, 1940, Japan signed the Tripartite Pact with Germany and Italy, thus entering the military alliance.
They swapped sides from the First World War because we pissed them off with the fucking racist...
For being racist dicks
signature,
to them. They formed the Axis. But by this point, I don't think I would want to be with mates with Japan after what's going on in Manchuria.
No, but maybe they wouldn't have gone that far if we hadn't pushed them to it.
We weren't rude to them. Yeah. They were like, oh, what, you guys think you're racist? Watch this. Watch this shit. This guy even looks like me a little bit. And check out what I'm going to fucking do to him. I ain't seen you English do this to a Frenchman before. Fucking fucked up, bruv. 18th of February 1941. Admiral Husband E. Kimmel, in charge of the Naval Forces station at Pearl Harbour, writes to the Chief of Naval Operations, I feel that a surprise attack, submarine, air, or combined, on Pearl Harbour is a possibility, and we are taking immediate practical steps to minimise the damage inflicted and to ensure that the attacking force will pay.
Yeah.
So
Almost like it was pre-planned.
This is what you're thinking. Do you know about the ships leaving as well? It's like two or three of the biggest and most important US Navy ships just happened to be out of the bay on 7th December.
They just sailed off.
Yeah.
Almost like when you didn't go to work on 9/11.
Sort of.
Yeah.
July 1st. So this is... Admiral Kimmel says that before July 1st, 1941... before the Export Control Act.
Right.
This is the act which gave the US government the authority to restrict the export of strategic minerals, including oil, to countries engaged in aggressive actions. The embargo significantly impacted Japan as it heavily relied on oil imports to sustain its industrial activities.
So they're putting a stranglehold, trying to strangle Japan, basically.
Took its lube off of them.
Yeah.
Look, you're not to be trusted with this shit anymore.
We're just going rough.
So after that, on July 2nd, the day after, Japan hold an Imperial Conference.
Yeah.
A plan conceived by Japanese Admiral Isoroku Yamamoto is presented. The Pearl Harbour Plan. 6 aircraft carriers and 400 of the most badass planes they've got to decimate the US Navy stationed at Pearl Harbour. The thing is, this dude's been wargaming this plan at like a secluded residence since all the way back in January.
Were these later known as, was it the bomb plots plan or something?
Oh, I don't know.
It was dividing up the island into like areas.
No, that was a different one. So that was
else?
that was like a plan they had first. I know exactly what you're talking about. That was a plan they had first, where they were going to hide all their ships, attack the Philippines, lure the US to these islands, and then pop out like, haha, motherfuckers. Because they had this ship. One was called the Yamato, and the other was called the Musashi, and they're considered two of the greatest Navy battleships ever made in history, even today's standards. They were the largest, they had the longest range, they were fucking incredible, and their plan was to use these bad boys and do a little sneak, like lure the US Navy into a sneak attack.
Little like ninja style.
Yeah, that's it. But Yamamoto, not Yamamoto, that's the name of the ship. Yamamoto, the admiral, said, fuck all that, I've got a plan, a little sneaky sneak. Been wargaming and practicing it all the way back in January. He had a little Warhammer board at his house. He'd invited German officials to check his sick gaming board and everything. Yeah. Like, full on, come have a little play, lads.
Have a little look at 731 while you're here.
Yeah. Check
might
this
give
shit.
you some ideas.
Here, you guys want some influence? Yeah. And he fucking loves this plan, this guy, right? But here's the thing, it's shot down. Everyone thinks he's a mad bastard. Like, we ain't attacking... What? Yeah. You mental. But this dude is so vital to Japan's war machine. When he threatens to resign, unless they do the plan, everyone's like, yo, chill, it's cool. We'll do your plan, dude. We'll do your plan.
Yeah. He was about to take the ball away, wasn't he? He was playing a game of football. And like, my ball.
My ball. You want to do my plan? I'm taking my war machine with me.
All the other blokes just stood there on the field, just like, oh.
Fuck. He's just taking. He's taking Unit 731 with him. Don't let him near my sister. 28th of July, so not long after 1941. Japan begins to invade Indochina. So this is, at this point, France have obviously fucked. Yeah. They're Indochina, a lot of French territories and colonies in Indochina. This is like Indonesia, Burma, all of that.
So they're just waving the flags as well.
They're
the easiest thing to do.
I mean, they're not even really there now. Germany's fucked them completely. Yeah. So Japan just goes, I'll take this opportunity. Yeah. Mine, motherfucker. October 7th, 1941. Hideki Tojo is made Prime Minister of Japan. The year before, this dude, Tojo, he's the one... so I mentioned Admiral Husband, Kilner, earlier. Yeah. In the episode picture, that's you, Admiral Kilner. And this guy, Hideki Tojo, is the guy I've put my face on. He's made Prime Minister of Japan. The year before, he was made Minister of War. Mm-hmm. And before that, he had previously led forces. Guess where?
Go on.
In Manchuria.
Hey. He's part of the right party.
Yeah. And he's a real war hawk, as they described back then. Yeah. But here's one funny thing about him. One of the reasons people think he's so good at his job is because he was just known for being shit hot at Excel. Like, he was really good at paperwork. Yeah. Like, he was boss man paperwork.
He knew all the formulas. And
everything. He knew.
Had an extra column here.
Yeah, that's it. Quick handwriting and shit. Yeah. Quite the opposite of me. But, like, it's still impressive. Quick hand.
Like, when my missus is on the laptop, she's got this word count thing. I don't know how many words per fucking second it is.
Scudding through it.
It's like a fucking cartoon character and she's typing.
I can't fucking...
You know, I mean, I've got one finger going.
Old school dad mode.
Yeah.
Click.
Love it.
I only learned to type properly because of video games on laptops. It's a QWERTY when you're using that.
See, I was never really into the video games.
Was you not?
I sort of quit.
On the computers, it was like you had to use the keyboard WASD, and that sort of helped you learn to walk over the keyboard. Yeah. But I still can't type that fast or nothing. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, Hideki Tojo takes power, and about a month later, just over a month later, on November 17th, 1941, previously, US intelligence radar had all of Japan's naval forces on lock. Yep. But on November 17th, on this day, 6 aircraft carriers vanish from US radars.
Is this war games or is this real?
Who knows? December 1st, 1941, Japan hold another imperial conference. The emperor tells the Prime Minister Hojo repeatedly, before they do what is known as Operation Z, they got to warn the US, as a surprise attack is mad dishonourable.
Yeah.
Mad dishonourable. You got to give them at least 30 minutes notice, dude. It's literally what he says. Give them 30 minutes. Got to give them 30 minutes.
Was it called Operation Z?
Operation Z.
Is it not it went Z, like Dragon Ball Z?
Dragon Ball Z, yeah. Or the... what's it, when Russia invaded Ukraine with all the Zs everywhere? Oh, yeah. But I'm thinking, got to give them at least 30 minutes warning. That's wild. Yeah. Give them 30 minutes.
Well, now we only give 4-minute warnings, don't we?
Yeah, it's true. 30-minute warning is a fucking big one. A warning was actually sent before Pearl Harbour happened, by the way, but it just happened to arrive late. Wink, wink.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Or someone ignored it.
No, apparently, genuinely, that's Japan. Came back and said, no, I'll fuck up. Some paperwork fucked up and it arrived late. Our bad.
What did they say? Sent it by like a letter?
They sent some dudes. Actually, it was some dudes they sent to the their ambassadors in the States, in Washington. Yeah. They sent 2 handing the letters, and they were like, yeah, we fucked up, our bad. We did have the warning before we attacked, but...
Well, they don't. It all fucking kicked off. Boom, 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 and they went, here's letter.
Yeah. Exactly that. That's exactly what happened. So, on the morning of December 7th, 1941, our day in history, bam, 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 3 a.m. to 4 a.m., midget submarines with dead Japanese soldiers are discovered in Pearl Harbour Bay. The base gets put on alert, but still a bit confused. Like,
why are they here?
Why are there tiny, like these mini subs? I don't know if you've ever seen them. They're just like coffins. Yeah. For like one dude.
They only fit. Yeah, was it 1 or 2 people inside them? Wasn't it? Yeah.
And they these turn up in Pearl Harbour Bay, but with dead Japanese dudes inside, and they're like, the fuck is this? Yeah. Then at 6 a.m., 6 Japanese aircraft carriers, part of the 1st Air Fleet, launched their first wave of 183 aircraft fighters about 230 miles north of Oahu. I can't fucking... Oahu,
I think it is.
Yeah, Oahu. 7:02, radar operators at Opana Point, Hawaii, detect incoming aircraft, but mistakenly identify them as a flight of B-17 bombers expected from the mainland.
They phoned ahead, didn't they? The guys who found it phoned up the line.
Yeah.
And said, it's a load of fucking planes coming. Like, oh, it's the B... Yeah, coming
back. It's
our
boys. They're coming back home. Don't worry about it.
Stop panicking.
Yeah.
Stupid boys.
Fucking idiots, isn't they? As the Japanese pilots flew in, there's stories of people who end up actually fucking waving at the Japanese pilots as they're flying in. Because they're flying so low, and the Japanese are looking out the window and waving at the fucking Americans.
Smiling and laughing.
Smiling and laughing.
Out the cockpits and
That's it, all of that shit. And a lot of the people are just, the US citizens, just confused when flying past, just start waving at them and shit. Which, again, mental, bro.
They had like the rising suns and that, like underneath the wings.
What a flag, though. Yeah. You've seen that flag. That flag will get you hyped, bro. Yeah. Like, you can't say that about... Isn't it weird? You can't say that about Nazi Germany's flag. But you look at Imperial Japan... Evil, isn't it? Yeah. But you look at Imperial Japan's flag and you can go, fucking yes. I've got some MMA gloves, which I used to fucking spar, which was those flags.
There's a couple of motorbike racers race with it on like, the side of their helmets
exactly. Like, Unit 731, Nobody looks at it like that.
Some of the bike racers are like kamikaze pilots as well when they fly around the track.
So, 7:55 a.m., the first wave of Japanese planes reach Pearl Harbour. The attack begins with a surprise assault by torpedo planes targeting the battleships. The attack begins literally during a flag-raising ceremony.
I heard about this.
Do you know the Americans, they love that flag-raising ceremony.
They love playing their national anthem,
That's it.
Did you hear about the band?
Yeah, so the Yanks absolutely love this shit, right? And the band actually... don't stop playing the song when the attack happens.
Did they even go off beat?
No, they didn't. They actually end up finishing the song and the entire ceremony while being strafed with gunfire, and they like end up raising a flag with like fucking bullet holes playing the tune.
Just sounded like a couple of like drum rolls in there. Didn't it? Like little drum solo in the background.
Who's letting the cheese grater through the hole of the flag, bruv? What's going on here?
A couple of big bass drums in the background.
Absolute Donnies though for finishing that, ain't they though? At this point as well is that husband fella, the admiral or the guy in charge of the base.
Yeah.
He then wakes up, comes out, and from his house, his room, he can see all of the Pearl Harbour Bay. He then comes out and starts watching it from his like garden area, and he's joined by his neighbour, who is like the wife of one of his chavvies. And I just remember watching a part of like some. I feel so bad for him at this point. Because he's sitting there watching all this happen and shitting it. Like, fuck, I fucked up this job, innit? And the whole time, apparently, this little old deer's standing next to him like, oh, it looks like they're bombing the Arizona. Oh, it looks like this ship's going down. And apparently he's, at the time, being like, yes, I can see that.
Oh, mate, yeah,
What?
I can imagine that.
Wouldn't it?
It's like when, like, sometimes in people's houses doing work.
Yeah.
Oh, be careful of that. No, I know. I do it every day.
Except you're watching all your boys be bombed, and you're like, yes, I'm very aware that we're fucked. Oh yeah, I might lose my job. At 8:06, the battleship USS Arizona is hit by an armor-piercing bomb, triggering a massive explosion and sinking.
So this was supposed to be the proper, like...
Big boy ship.
Yeah.
The explosion was so large, it was described as more of a whoosh than a bang. It jumped up in the air and broke into two.
Yeah.
An explosion so large, the shockwave blew out the flames of a ship next to it on fire.
Yeah. That's not all bad news.
Made a fire, put out a fire. You know what I mean? Got to break some eggs.
Look at the positive.
8:10, the second wave of Japanese planes, consisting of 170 aircraft, takes off from the carriers. At the same time, at 8:10, the battleship USS Oklahoma is hit by multiple torpedoes, causing it to capsize. 5 minutes later, 8:15, Japanese aircraft target airfields, hangars, and other military installations in addition to the battleships. By 8:30, the USS Nevada, trying to escape the harbour, is heavily damaged and deliberately grounded to avoid blocking the harbour entrance.
Yeah.
9:45, the first wave of the attack concludes and a brief lull occurs.
Not a lull.
No, not that. More everyone just being like, fuck was that?
Yeah.
Jesus.
Especially the kids who just woke up and all.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
oh, mate.
He's literally rubbing his eyes going, is this for real?
Yeah, what's the fuck? And some old dears, oh, you know, they're bombing us, you know. No shit, Deirdre. Fucking hell, you'd be pissed at her, wouldn't you?
Yeah. She's got a right hook.
An hour, 15 minutes later, after the first attack concludes, the second wave of the attack arrives, targeting the remaining ships and facilities. And by an hour later, the attack concludes, leaving a significant portion of the US Pacific Fleet damaged or destroyed. From here, on their way home, the Japanese pilots hear over the radio the general in charge of the attack shout, I can't remember what it is in Japanese, but in English it translates to Tiger, Tiger, Tiger. And that was the code name that the sneak attack had been successful.
Ah, nice.
Yeah. So I've got some little interesting facts for what happened during it. Kimmel, so that's husband Kimmel, the guy in charge, stood by the window of his office at the submarine base, his jaw set in stony anguish as he watched the disaster across the harbour unfold with terrible fury. A spent .50 caliber machine gun bullet crashed through the glass. It brushed the admiral before it clanged to the floor. It cut his white jacket and raised a welt on his chest. He's quoted as saying, "It would have been more merciful had it killed me."
Yeah, because then he could have died a hero to it.
Yeah.
I died in it as well.
I was there too.
I didn't just stand by and watch everyone else die.
Another great story from December 7th, I find, is that evening after the Pearl Harbor attacks, it's quoted that Winston Churchill is to have said, "That night I slept the sleep of the saved."
Because he knew that they were coming.
He knew that the US boys would now back him up.
Yeah.
December 8th, 1941, the United States declares war on Japan 1 day after the attack on Pearl Harbor.
So this was the vote that went through Congress?
I assume so.
Yeah. So it was like...
Go on, you got some stuff on that,
just
right?
one little thing on it.
Go on.
It was 388 to 1.
Ooh, who's the one?
The one was a woman called Jeanette Rankin.
Oh.
And her vote apparently led to hissing from all of her peers.
Yeah, I can assume so. Yeah.
So all the newspapers and everyone still had it in for women around that time.
Yeah.
All the newspapers put, a woman is the only dissenter as Congress declares war.
Oh,
she replied, they were trying to get her to change her mind, so it was like complete. And she said, "As a woman, I cannot go to war, and I refuse to send anybody else."
Okay, no,
That's
fair play to her there. Yeah, fair play to her.
I like that.
Yeah, fair play to her. Yeah, I dig that. Fair play to her. December 11th, so a few days after the United States declare war on Japan, Germany and Italy declare war on the US. And then now World War II is in full swing.
Yeah.
Because at this point, by the US getting involved, it's global.
Yeah, that's everyone.
That's absolutely
every region,
continent. Yeah, involved in World War II. And that's our Pearl Harbor episode. History of Imperial Japan, some naughty shit they did, and the beginning of the end of their empire.
Do you think, I was thinking about this the other day.
Go on.
In a roundabout way.
Yeah.
You know how my conspiracy mind works?
Yeah.
Do you think somebody else could have egged the Japanese on to do the attack to get Americans involved?
1000%.
But from our side.
I don't know about us and the British particularly.
Yeah.
But the Americans almost egged it on themselves by taking away the oil. I know after something like Nanking and Unit 731, you're going to be taking their oil off them.
Yeah.
But they didn't take their oil off of them for a few years until after those things.
They let them carry on.
They let them carry on doing a few other naughty things before. And if there's anything that you know is going to piss them off, is taking away their oil. If 86% of their oil comes from you.
So it's
almost inviting them to attack, especially moving your ships to Pearl Harbor, pointing them at the Japanese, and then going, and now we're taking the oil.
Yeah. So there was a thing from a guy, it was Henry Stimson.
Okay.
He was a Secretary of War.
Yeah.
And he was quoted saying, the question was, how should we manoeuvre them into firing the first shot? It was desirable to make sure the Japanese be the ones to do this, so that there should remain no doubt as to who were the aggressors.
Yes.
So they wanted to be in it.
Oh, yeah, 1000%.
And it would have been, obviously, we know that war benefits.
The winners, obviously, but like the big countries, especially something like America, their industries fucking love war. Halliburton, all those boys. Yeah. Fucking love it.
It was I.G. Farben that was giving gases and stuff to Adolf and Aswell, George Bush's granddad, I think it was.
There you go.
But yeah.
So they were funding both sides, more than that little bit of extra cred, bro.
Yeah. That's pretty good.
That's some wild shit there.
I found another thing about the first Japanese, or the US's first Japanese prisoner of war.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the guys on the midget subs.
Oh, was he?
This is Kazuo Sakamaki.
Okay.
And he approached in a midget submarine. Yeah. But he ran aground on the Waimanelo beach.
Okay, so this is around
of the island,
near Pearl Harbour and that.
About 20 miles from it.
Yeah.
He then tried to blow the submarine up, but the charges didn't go off.
Oh,
so he swam back underneath the submarine to try and investigate, but he passed out.
Oh,
and then he was found by a US soldier, David Aki, and then the Japanese high command struck his name off the records and told his family that he'd been killed.
Oh,
but
fuck.
he was actually just in prison.
Yeah.
And he lived right up to I think it was 81 or something.
Damn.
Yeah.
Well, those dudes live old. Like Japanese dudes live till old, bruv.
Was it at the end of the war? The Japanese on some islands didn't
surrender.
They surrendered or something.
Yeah,
They're still going 30 years later.
Yeah, still going for a long old time.
Yeah.
Bruv, look, 2,500-year-old royal family, an island that has never been never been invaded.
Yeah.
Unless you count nuclear bombs as an invasion. Well, big booms, not invasions.
Yeah, they didn't. No, they weren't an invasion.
There's no feet on the ground.
No, it's like the Germans didn't invade us.
Yes, in the same concept. Yeah,
like they bombed the fuck out of us.
Bombed the fuck out of us.
Didn't actually invade. Did
no, I mean the US did more than bomb the fuck out of. They bombed the war out of Japan. Do you know what I mean? Bombed them into Hello Kitty, bruv.
Did you hear about all of the sets of brothers that was on all the ships?
What, at Pearl Harbour?
Yeah.
No.
There was like 37 sets of brothers on all based across all the ships.
Wow.
And 23 sets of brothers died.
Ooh.
Yeah. So it become a thing after they tried to make it a thing that now brothers wouldn't be deployed with each other.
Yeah, near each other. So if something dies, yeah, that makes sense.
Because I remember I went to some war graves in Belgium from First World War stuff, and you'd literally go up to some of the monuments and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's just lists of the same surname
all
the way through, and you're like, I mean, you don't necessarily know.
Entire
that could have been uncles, cousins, brothers. Like,
well, back in the day, like World War One pre and all that, like your unit would be the boys from your town.
Yeah, that's it. Your regiment is that. Yeah.
Yeah, your regiment is your homies. Yeah.
So when you see all their names there, you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's
cousins, uncles.
That's it. So they did say they tried to change that, but during World War Two, it was just like everybody.
Oh damn!
Was there anyway?
Oh yeah, everyone's there anyway. But so then after Pearl Harbour is when they stopped putting brothers near each other, which makes sense.
Basically,
that's a cool one. That's a cool one.
There's a few like conspiracy around it, things like that as well. Like they reckon, they did see the ships coming on the radars and things.
Yeah.
Like some of the Japanese.
Just the fact that they lost sight of them. They knew where they were, and then suddenly, where they gone?
Yeah, and they moved them 2 ships away.
Yeah. So like the 2 of the most important ships in the US Navy just happened to leave Pearl Harbour that morning.
And like, do you think you could have seen and heard planes coming a bit quicker than...
Pretty loud, didn't they?
Yeah.
So I was watching that documentary earlier, and that guy was like, "Oh, I was the lookout that day."
Done a great job.
Fucking hell, bruv. Wouldn't be admitting that. It's the last thing I'd admit. I was the lookout that day.
He was looking the wrong way.
Yeah. I was actually chatting to my mate, not doing my job at all, having a fucking chuff on a fag. Suddenly, a Japanese ship flew by low. Fucking hell, bruv.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy.
Sort it out.
But like also moving like the ships down to Pearl Harbour, like if you weren't in the war, like the Japanese wouldn't have been able to get to America, would they?
No.
Straight from there?
No, Hawaii is the closest.
And that was only a territory at the time, it wasn't even a state.
Yeah.
So like that's a long old way for the Japanese to go without being found out if they was trying to get to the actual mainland.
Yeah. Yeah. Which, funnily enough, not a lot of people knew this. I didn't know this until recently. Japan did invade mainland America.
Did they?
They landed troops in Alaska.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, nice. There was a few things in Alaska.
Nice.
Crazy dudes.
That is crazy.
Can't say crazy dudes with a smile on our face after reading about Unit 731, though.
No. You got
Samurais are cool.
Samurais cool, but 731, nah.